Here walks down the 18th fairway. The question is, who will it be?
It's in.
You think he enjoyed that one?
But he's hauled it, would you believe it?
And the champion golfer of the year.
Oh, good morning, I'm Di Stewart and we are delighted to be live at the range. I'm here with Johnny Morgan this morning. It is the first day of the Open Championship, the 151st. My goodness, it feels pretty electric, John. First time I've spoken to you.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm absolutely great.
Yeah.
Absolutely thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me, Di.
It's fantastic, isn't it? You've been here all week, walked the golf course. It's spectacular. I've spoken to so many people here and they're just so impressed with the way it's set up. The first tee time today was 6:35. A local lad, Matthew Jordan, teed off. Did you see it? It was fantastic.
I did, and I had goosebumps.
Yes.
I tried to put myself in his shoes. I felt the emotions. I felt the raw, energy coming from the crowd, the nerves, everything. It was amazing. What dreams come true, you know?
Totally. He is currently top of the leaderboard, the local lad who qualified at West Lancs at 1 under par. It's just a brilliant story. Obviously, it's very early days, but we get excited, don't we? First day of the final major of the year, the Open Championship, the oldest of them all. It was a nerve-wracking start, though, on that first tee. Richie Ramsey, who is out in his group, it was 4 left. It shows, you know, a calibre of player of Richie Ramsey, but the nerves of the Open get to everybody, don't they?
They do. I mean, look at it. I mean, the whole aura. You're at a major, the final major of the year. You come here, you're on home turf as well.
Yeah.
You've got the home crowd support. I mean, it's all kicking off. You're the first tee time, everyone's looking at you. Everyone's tuning in, getting their morning coffee and a bacon sarnie ready to go.
Yeah.
Sitting in front of the TV, ready to watch you.
Brandon Grace was the other player to make up that threesome that started at 6:35. We can't forget Brandon's amazing round. I think it was the third round at Royal Birkdale, wasn't it? 62, record lowest round. Such a brilliant links player. It's almost in his DNA, isn't it?
It is. He's a ball flighter. Do you know what I mean? He's a manipulator of the golf ball. Ball flight is everything for Brandon Grace. Keeps it low on the deck, a lot of run to it. This is a golf course. Links golf in general is a style he's going to suit, and he's going to relish these conditions. And if the wind gets up, oh, watch out, everybody.
Yeah. And what's the weather forecast? I'm now
Pretty
calling you a
sublime,
weatherman.
I'm not the way
I have looked at my 14 apps and it says it's going to be pretty benign today.
Looks mint. It
Yeah.
looks absolutely perfect, and it's supposed to be just like this all the way through.
Yeah, if you're joining us for the first time on Live at the Range, where have you been? We've showed you inside analysis. We've got literally cameras everywhere. George Harper Jr. is out on the course. We've got access to the players, to the coaches, to the caddies. It really is fantastic. If Kev, our brilliant cameraman,
Oh, he's a diamond, isn't he?
Absolutely
Just jealous
fantastic.
of his hairdo.
If we just go round, and we've got Top Tracer here, if Kev can show us. And we were talking about who was heading it furthest on the range yesterday,
Oh my
and
goodness.
right at the top of the leaderboard was Ryan Fox flying it 335 yards. Rory McIlroy was up there as well, and Christou Lamprecht as well, the 6'8" South African.
Oh yeah, he was just here. He was absolutely lumping it.
When's he teeing off? He's teeing off at 7:52 in about 20 minutes' time. He's playing with Joost Luiten. Is Joost still here?
Joost, he's
is
right
just
there,
here,
look.
actually, Kev.
In little baby draws.
Few baby draws, lovely. And Louis Oosthuizen make up the threesome. Louis, we spoke to you yesterday, 2010 champ, of course. But Yo's playing some good golf, some top tens recently.
Oh, he's playing good, and this is a golf course suits him. You know, Hoylake is renowned for a drawer's paradise, and he's a drawer of the ball, so watch out, everybody.
If you are a fader of the ball, do you try and change things for this week?
No, you play with what you got. You stick to your guns, you know. You commit to your shots and, aim for the right spots. I mean, if you got it on a piece of string, happy days.
Yeah, I mean, because when we do hear that players try to change things up. It doesn't always go to plan, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I'm thinking of Martin Keimer in the Masters when he tried to change things.
Pure
Let's have a
example.
look at some of the tee times, and we'll start with the 9:36 tee time. Patrick Cantlay, Brooks Koepka, 5-time major champ, and Masters champ Hideki Matsuyama. Oh, my goodness, any one of those guys could take this, could they?
My God, what a three-pull. I mean, there'll be a lot of people going out to watch that. Patrick Cantlay, watched him last week at the Scottish. Looked like he was
Tied
really
12th,
calm.
was it?
Yeah, tied 12th, and he didn't really get out of second gear, third gear. So I think there's a lot more to come from Patrick Cantlay. Brooks Koepka, can't wait to see him. Got the bit between his teeth. You know, he doesn't have to prove anything. 5-time major winner. Hideki Matsuyama. We'd like to see him play some good golf again. It's been a while.
Good to hear that Brooks said his aim is actually 10 majors, so he's halfway there, isn't
There you
he? 9:47, we've got Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood and Adam Scott. Tommy, the crowds are going to go wild.
Oh, I was out there with Rory yesterday with Tommy Fleetwood. We had Victor Hovland and we had Tyrrell Hatton. My goodness, the following was like a final day at the major, you know, and it was only Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? So they were supporting Tommy, they were cheering him on, they were constantly wanting away from him, everything. He was trying to keep himself in his own little bubble, you know, with Finn as his
Hard,
caddy.
isn't it?
Oh, it's so hard because literally you got so many lovely people, you know, just wanting to pull for him, and
Yeah.
they, you know, they're giving him all the attention you can imagine. So literally, look at Scotty Scheffler, world #1. Adam Scott, the poster boy. You know, look at him. He's a good-looking boy. So yeah, we're going to see some great golf and 3 great players.
Yeah, 9:58. Current champion golfer of the year, Cam Smith, is out with Xander Schauffele and Wyndham Clark. Major winner Wyndham Clark.
Oh, I was impressed. I followed him first round last week, and what a game. What power he has as well. He's got power in abundance. He's got a lot of reserve tank in there. Great player, good mentality. You know, tells himself off, gives him a little slap on his own self, and really kickstarts his round. I mean, Cameron Smith, of a defending champ, Xander Schauffele, didn't seem like he had his best game last week, but still got a fairly decent result. So, you know, it's
I mean, all these guys are so good at playing links golf, aren't they now?
Mate, yeah, they're used to it. You know, they're getting to play it week in, week out. Not week in, week out, but, you know, year in, year out, they're able to come out here, test their wits. And it's a different game. They understand they can't just fly it high with loads of spin. They got a ball flight it, feed it into greens. And, you know, it's a different game altogether.
Yeah, isn't it fascinating how players utilise their time? Some players want to play the Scottish Open the week before, want to get that competitive action, and others, they take time off. They may go to Ireland, play courses around the UK, and then come here. It's all about a player's mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But Tommy, my goodness, he's going to have the crowds, just thousands going to be out there supporting him. But, you know, does that add extra pressure, or will he embrace that?
Oh no, he'll embrace it. Oh my goodness!
He's so
How
used to
often?
it, isn't
How
he?
often do you get to play in front of your home crowd?
Yeah.
I mean, how often? Never really. And this is on his doorstep. I mean, he knows probably a quarter of the population that are coming through the gate. Probably, you know, don't know him, but they probably live just down the street from his
But
old house.
they also feel like they know him.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
it's
He's
great.
personable, you know.
And that's
what
what we
a
need with
likeable
golf,
character.
isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
like definitely people that are open to expression, you know, express themselves and feelings. That's what it's all about, golf. You know, that's why I got into it, watching, you know, Seve Ballesteros, which was the ultimate. You know,
Yeah.
there was the guy who just bore everything massively. It was like boom, you know, and it's like, oh yeah, come on, you know, and that was who I wanted to be. You know, and this is what all these players wanted to be. Definitely.
Oh, totally. We want those amazing personalities.
Oh.
Well, we will go through the afternoon tea times later. But talking of great personalities, George Harper Jr. is by the entrance to the course. George, over to you. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to hear the voices died. Johnny, how are you, mate? Long time.
It is, mate. You're looking dapper, son.
Oh, it's great to be here. It's such an amazing atmosphere. I'm down by the beautiful, historic clubhouse, and I'm not sure you can see inside the windows, but if you can, you won't see much. Why is that? That's because Matty Jordan hit the first tee shot this morning, so all the members were absolutely flooding the first tee and more, and we were lucky enough to witness a birdie on the second. So the atmosphere's out here is electric, guys, and there's a slight breeze starting to pick up. It's perfect links golf conditions out here, so it's great. But yeah, how's the intensity on the range over there?
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. We're just we're here. They're all flooding in now, ready for their little warm-ups, ready to kick off. We've got the big easy, Ernie Els, just here, Ollison, everything. They're all warming up.
Well, speaking of former champions from South Africa, I've got Louis Oosthuizen just here warming up as well, getting his putter dialed in. Some great former champions here this week. Such a special tournament for them to be able to play here for so long.
Yeah, we spoke to Louis actually yesterday, and he said, every time he comes to the Open Championship, it just, it means so much to him. It's brilliant to. He reminisces about his 2010 victory at St Andrews. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't get a better location, could you, to win the Open?
No, you couldn't. I mean, literally. I mean, this golf course, though. What a golf course, Hoylake. Going round it, every nook.
Well, this one's great. St Andrews is great as well. I mean, they're all brilliant, aren't they?
St Andrews is just like. I mean, it is the ultimate. You walk up that over the bridge, up towards 18. You've got the old clubhouse there, the R&A, and it's amazing. It really is. There is no better. And talk about when it's breezy, swing it easy. This man has got a poetry in motion swing.
George, did he say something to you just then?
What was that, sorry?
Did Louis, did he wave to you just then? Did he say hi?
Well, he's not
You
waving
caught
to me
his
at the moment
eye.
because of the recent rugby result. All the South Africans are a bit angry at me after the All Blacks did a number on them. So
That's no different there, is there, George?
Oh, he's not speaking to you.
what was that? Good, thank you. Very good. How are you? He's good, guys. I think he's feeling
great
good. Jeez, he's
stuff.
got a silky smooth putting stroke, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's playing with Joost Luiten and Christo Lamprecht. And George, you've watched a bit of Christo. Great golf game.
Oh, Christo's so exciting. Had the honour of watching him win the Amateur Championship just round the corner at Hillside. To be there, on-course commentary for every shot was so good. He can hit it an absolute mile, as I'm sure we all know. He got some great coverage over the last couple of days, and it's really nice to see an amateur champion come to the Open and have that attention, because these guys are the next level. They're the next step into becoming professionals,
Yeah.
and they deserve the attention they get. And I really feel like Christo can fly the flag for the R&A, and being an amateur champion, I think he could make a good run this week.
Absolutely. He's 6'8", George. Is that a foot taller than you?
Yeah, well, fun fact, did you know Sevi Ballesteros was 6 foot? How about that?
Oh, it's a fun fact for the day.
Not relevant.
George.
Well, it's kind of relevant, but
it's so important, isn't it, these last few minutes that players are on the putting green before they go to that first tee. How far is the walk, George, from the putting green to the first tee?
okay. Well, if you come with me, I'll be able to just show you
Yeah,
a brief
please do.
little sort of walk. So they'll come over here from the putting green,
Yeah.
up, over and down, and then you come through the mix zone. It's a ghost town now, but believe you me, as scorecards start coming in, this place heats up, absolutely heats up. And then they come through here.
Is the heart beating, George? Can you imagine getting onto that first tee and hitting that first tee shot?
Oh, well, we were talking about it when Matty Jordan was doing it. You could see it in his eyes. There was no doubt some huge nerves there.
Oh,
which was,
totally.
yeah,
And Richie Ramsey, I mean, I was just saying to John earlier, off the first, he went way left, didn't he?
Yeah, it's great. So now as we come through here, this is where the players will come through.
Yeah.
And here's one of our personal favourites, Brenda. Good morning. How are you? Nice to see you
Great
again.
stuff.
No, you're not on camera. You're all right.
Oh, George.
I jest. Brenda's been lovely all week.
How many steps up there? Are you counting them?
Yeah, I'm about 25,000 plus. So finally actually getting some fitness done. It's been a long summer.
Looks like you need it.
But this is the players' walk, George.
Yeah, so this is I love these setups at the Open. It keeps the players above all the fans. It gives them a direct route. It feels like a runway. Feels like a sort of catwalk, but with a few more nerves. Johnny Morgs, you'd love a little catwalk, wouldn't you?
Ah, yeah, mate, you're the master. I remember seeing you in the Made in Himmelin. You got some moves on you as well, bud.
But some
Yeah.
of these players, George, some of these players will be walking for the first time, some for the 10th time, for the 15th time. I mean, but having spoken to so many of them, and yourself, George, the goosebumps never go, do they? They're
That's right,
always
it
there
doesn't-
for the Open.
It doesn't matter how many Opens you've played or how many majors. There's the spine-tingling moment when you walk into the first tee and you realise that you're about to start another campaign. And yeah, It gives you goosebumps. I'm just happy that the golf's finally here. There's balls in the air.
Can you go any further, or is that where you... So they walk to there?
I can't go further. I just wanted you to get another look at Louis here.
You were waiting, sorry. Yes, he's possibly needs to get there before you.
Yes, that's right. We don't want to get in the way.
His tee time is 7:52, so that's in 6 minutes' time.
Perfect time.
Have you ever known a golfer late for a tee time, John?
No, I
Not in
nearly
a
was, but I
major.
can't tell you that story. It'll get me into trouble. But yeah, it was really, really good.
I think with the early morning starts, George, it's about having sort of 5 settings on your alarm, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's a real mark of a friend if they're late for a tee time. Cheapers, you go down in my books, I'll tell you. But they come down here, and
Yeah.
you can see there they stop for some fruit, get
Yeah.
their goodies in there, and then away they go. So it's a long walk, a nervous walk, but a very exciting one, no doubt about it. So,
Oh, you've really set the scene for us. That is brilliant. And I know
Yes.
you're out of breath, but it was worth it because just to get that view and to get the idea of where they walk from the putting green to the first tee gives our viewers an incredible insight into how they start their day. So, thanks for that, George. We'll leave you to it, and you can go and find someone else.
yeah, that's right. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll be right back here soon. I think we're going to maybe do the same with Tommy Fleetwood's group. I think it'd be really nice
yeah,
to see
let's
him
just-
doing this
Oh.
walk.
Bring it
Just
on,
checking
George.
his
How
tee
good's that
time
going to be?
again.
Oh,
9:47 with Scotty Scheffler and Adam Scott. I know Scotty's one of your Southern Hemisphere favourites, isn't he? Almost did it back in 2012. In fact, George, we've got the Big Easy on the range. If we just pan round here, Ernie is here this morning. Winner of the Open in 2002, of course, at Muirfield in 2012. It was so close for Scotty, wasn't it, back in 2012?
Oh, and his heart poured out to Adam Scott as well after he took that win at Lilleman. You know, I mean, what a performance Ernie put on. I mean, what a lovely bloke as well. Gives you all the time in the world. Found me out on the golf course. How you doing? I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Totally.
Oh, he's like boy next door. He really is. He's man on about being there forever and a day. They are the dynamic duo. You all right, boss man?
Morning.
So yeah, they're all geared up, ready to go. And this is a nice golf course. You know, Ernie's going to love these situations. You know, shame it's not running a little bit fast underfoot. We've had that drop of rain, but
I mean, those two, they've had a relationship for so many years,
oh,
haven't they?
forever and a day. I mean, literally. And he's got more of a father figure, brotherly love. You know what I mean? You can say the home truths. You know, you can get through to your playing partner. You know, and you know, when the chips are down, you can tell the hard truth, and it's going to bounce off them really, really good. And that's what you want. That's what the team is all about. You know, when you're not feeling great, you get someone to actually lean on. Maybe get a little bit aggravated, push them, shove them, and then no, come on, sort yourself out, and we get back on the gravy train.
But that dynamic, though, of player caddy, we spoke about it yesterday with Joost and his caddy and a few of the other guys as well, but it's so key to get it spot on, because you've got to have the right personality on the bag and the right personality for the player, because you're out there for a long time. There's a lot of time in between shots, and I know everyone can relate at home if they've ever had a caddy. Some of them, oh my goodness, take shots off your game, don't they?
Well, it's more about psychology as well. I mean, you know, your caddy, your right-hand man is more like your psychologist, and that's what you need. You need, because literally they're reading your body language. Are you confident over that shot? Why aren't you all of a sudden? You know, get them, twig them out a bit. You know, I mean, give them a kick in the shins and go, oi, come on, let's get back on it.
And he's got the sticks on the floor.
There you go.
Still go back to basics, don't you?
It's all
You know?
basics. When you're a top pro, it's only little things. It's only little things. That's all it is. Little tweaks, little feels. There's nothing else. You know, you're not making big changes now. You are absolutely just gluing in and getting in the zone and finding your rhythm. You know, and you're testing your shots out as well. Your ball flights. You're putting in a few left to rights, a few right to lefts, highs, lows, little blooners, spinny ones. You're doing it all. It's lovely.
And he's still flushing it, isn't he?
Is there anything else? He's bound to flush it.
Yeah. So his tea time is in a few, I think it's in about 15 minutes' time, but we're going to take a short break. Now, 8:36 is his tea time. Okay, we'll stay here with Ernie, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Follow the 151st Open in unrivaled detail on the open.com and the Open app. Go behind the scenes with Live at the Range from Monday to Sunday of Open Week.
Yeah, that was flush.
Track every shot hit at the championship and get real-time statistics with ShotView. Get minute-by-minute coverage on the go with Open Radio.
Well, jumping up and down. It's an unbelievable bunker shot.
Follow feature groups throughout each day of the championship and soak up all the action on the incredible 17th hole with the Par 3 channel. All streamed live on the open.com and the Open app. Get closer to the Open wherever you are.
What time's this tee off? Hello, welcome back to Live at the Range, and John Morgan and myself are just studying the tee times right now and having a look at when the players are out. You were just mentioning, who were you just mentioning just then?
Jordan Smith. There he is.
Jordan Smith in
Yeah.
Bay 15.
And this
There
is
he
one
is.
of the best swings in the game. Now, literally, if you want a poster boy of a golf swing,
Yeah.
this is it. Complete and utter flusher.
Wow. You just said he just, if he gets the putter going,
Oh my God, watch
it
out.
could be very dangerous.
Literally could have a load
Yeah.
of tournaments under his belt already. I mean, he could be way in there in the top 20, top 30. This game is that good. And he's a
John.
kind of local boy to where I am. So I've
Well,
got to,
speaking of, oh, is he? Yes,
Yeah.
of course he is. Speaking of local boys, Matthew Jordan, who teed off at 6:35 a.m, is right at the top of the leaderboard. He just slipped out for an eagle on the 5th.
get in there, Matty
So
boy.
birdie for him, so he's 2 under par, and I'm sure the crowds will be swelling following it. There we go, he is 2 under par with Richie Ramsey -1. Great news for Ramsey. Ryan Fox 1 under par, Pablo Larrazabal on the same score. Lucas Herbert at level. So Jordan, my goodness. Do stay with us though, because we've got all the players warming up on the range and seeing what they do before they hit that first tee shot. Great to see what their warm-ups are. Who else have you spotted, John?
Harris English obviously played the last Ryder Cup, and he's in Bay 12 right here, dressed in purple, looking very dapper, I must admit.
Consistent, isn't he?
Oh, consistent, yeah, definitely is the word,
Oh, I
Di.
didn't like the look of that one though.
No, that was, the better less said about that one, the better. Yeah, that's one of those you just go, no, that's not normally me. Kurt Kitayama right next to him in Bay 11 as
Yeah.
well. I mean, he's a beautiful player. He was out on the European Tour back then, now the DP World Tour, and I got to do a little bit in the bag. His, get inside his head. Lovely player. Played one Bay Hill, great player, and and then obviously you go along the line. You've just seen a plethora of amazing talent. I mean, it looks like Scotty Scheffler's mate, Sam Burns. He's
Yeah.
in Bay 4.
Bay 4, Sam Burns, next to.
Because I can see
Henrik
the little
Stenson
mini
down
mullet he's rocking nowadays. I'm just
Do you
jealous
like
of
it?
it. I'm jealous of the little mini mullet.
Some
I
quite
used to
fun
have one.
hairdos out here, aren't there?
Yeah, my hair
Lots of
falls
beards
out.
going on as well.
I like the beards, don't
Yeah.
you? I mean, I'm rocking a bit of grey, but it's just so grey now. Getting older,
You look
Di.
fab, John. You look fab. It is the
Yeah,
first day of the
distinguished,
151st Open. I can't believe it. We've been waiting so long for this day to happen. And just tell us a little bit about this golf course. You've been out there for the last couple of days, and what have you made of it? Which holes stand out for you?
Cool. Well, it's the closing holes that stand out for me.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
I mean, it's going to be the common talk, I'd imagine. But 14, great hole. 13, just before it, the par 3, lovely hole as well. I mean, I love
Alps.
the way. I love the way 14 sets up. It's a more generous fairway than most of the golf course. You get to the corner and you head towards the green, and you've got that little mini dune on the left-hand side that seems to cover like half the green.
Yeah.
So it makes you have to play that right to left, or even if you don't want to. If the wind's coming off your left as well, it's just like,
Oh, that's really
this
tough,
is a
isn't
strong
it?
one. And then you come down. I was watching Rory yesterday. I watched 15, 16, 17, 18 with Rory
Yeah.
and Tommy Fleetwood and co. and literally they came to 17, I should say, and they
Yeah.
were all foxed by the wind. They had no clue.
Were they?
Yeah,
What happened?
Tyrrell was like all over the place. He didn't know where the wind was coming from, and he chucked his toys out the pan, even though it was a practice round, which was hilarious.
Did he? What did he do?
Oh, he was just like, oh my God, where's that wind coming from? Where's that wind coming
And
from?
how did they play?
They played pretty good.
Did they
I
hit
mean,
they hit the green?
well, Tyrrell didn't, but
Okay.
the rest of the three went to school on Tyrrell's mistakes, so
Oh, did
they all hit the
Did
green.
they? Had a giggle.
Yeah.
It's great to show the friendship as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. They were
Yeah.
having a little, couple of bob on the side. Just keep it a little bit
Yeah.
spicy.
Where
But they're all
did
mates.
Tyrrell go? Right, left?
He was left. I mean, left is
Bunker?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the commonplace
Oh.
all week. That bunker's going to get serious action.
Yeah, and the one at the front, my goodness, it's like a mountain, that lip.
I mean, if they get the wind completely wrong and they balloon it up and they try and hit one too hard and too high, it's going to come back. It'll fall short and feed back into that bunker, and that's a treacherous place to be. But the only one you don't want to be in is right. You just can't be right in this screen.
No,
You just can't be because
that's near the grandstand, isn't it?
yeah,
on
and
the
if you miss that bunker as well, and you go over by the grandstand, the two drop zones that you'll have to go to, I mean, they're treacherous to chip
Yeah.
from. They really, really are. I mean, they're gonna be some serious heads off. You know what I mean? I mean, you go over
We
the green, you're
wanted
in a
some
world of trouble as
drama.
well.
Yeah, the penultimate hole here really is fantastic. It's caught the eye of many, little eye. Okay, we will stay down here in the range. Let's get to our commentary team. This morning, it's Simon Holmes and Peter Finch. Good morning, chaps. If you could send a coffee down here, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
good morning, Diane, John. It's epic, isn't it? It's a little bit more buzz than it's been.
Yeah.
A little bit more quiet. The players are quiet. The galleries are sort of silent, watching. Tension's building. Coffee on its way.
We're going to give them a wave, actually. Should we give them a wave? Morning.
Morning,
Can you
y'all.
give us a wave?
Ooh,
There we go.
Slightly subdued
There we go.
waves this morning.
Possibly
Yeah,
a bit
pumped up,
early
mate.
for them.
How many coffees should we send down there?
Just, 100 would be
I tell
great.
you what, if you send
Yeah.
one, I'm going to start dancing, so you better not.
Yeah. Should we try it again? Give us a wave. There we go.
There we go.
Go on,
You
then.
on telly? There we go. Great
Boom,
stuff.
shake the room.
Oh, we'll hand it over to you.
Amazing. So, right to left wind, Peter,
Yes,
as it was.
a little bit more expected, I think, for some of the players. That's what they would have been, I wouldn't say hoping for, but that's probably what they would have prepared for more than any.
Yeah, so that's kind of... yesterday a bit more into... and the wind. Why do we talk about the wind? Because it makes such a difference when you get out on the golf course. So, golf pros hate surprises.
I think this type of wind as well, it's definitely going to favour the drawer of the golf ball, because as soon as you get down to the back end of the course with the wind whipping off the left-hand side that it would be as they go down the coastline and the dog legs from right to left, if you're not comfortable hitting a draw, you're not going to probably enjoy that little bit of a stretch.
Just the camber, isn't it? So, Ernie Els just teeing up a few three-woods.
Even makes teeing up look relaxed, doesn't he? Just
It's amazing, isn't it? Left
plops it
hand
down in
on.
there.
Tempo.
Easy, innit?
Well, it's like it's a rhythm, like his name isn't it? Like Ernie Els. Ernie Els. Amazing.
Is that what he's saying to himself?
I
Is
don't
there-
know. Well, you would have thought so, right? Someone would have said to it. Or you can sort of
Okay.
copy it. So it's an amazing. I think one of the things is like just the ability to really complete your backswing like that, to be that good at completing it every time.
Just to be that flexible.
Or yeah, amazingly flexible and good. Must be what, 52 Ernie Els? That sound about right? Seniors, couple of years.
I'm not sure, he might be a bit older, you know.
53.
He has a timeless swing though, doesn't he? So
This is pretty timeless. Look at this. So look at the top of the backswing. It's like everything stops. But when it accelerates, it goes. Let's have a look at his numbers there. Maybe
doesn't he?
oh, who wouldn't want to have a... So
Moving on to the big stick.
let's see what he's got. 165. You thinking? Yeah, let's go for a 165 ball.
On the
But that. Yeah, 275. So I mean, it's like he might be a bit older, but I mean, I don't think there's, you know, I don't think that handicaps him around this golf course. He's not going to be at a disadvantage.
At least 10 yards,
Yeah.
I'd say, on these fairways, if not a little bit more as it dries out throughout today and tomorrow.
Yeah. Ricky with a bad throw in there, Ernie having to adjust. We've had all sorts of stories coming from the driving range. Interaction with the players, looking at the data, looking at their swing. It's been a great 3 days, but now practice is over. And the tension is different.
Yeah, it is. Training aids out there, I think, today. You've seen a lot of people still trying to find a few things. It's nice that Ernie's own little launch monitor.
Yeah, it's just they're all competitive. They're all like you see a lot of players kind of in their hands and rotating. That's a little bit more kind of like a little bit of more of a rugby ball toss with the arms, isn't it? A little bit more rotation on both.
Allowing him to play kind of now and obviously moving into the future as well.
Some short careers, and these ones long, easy, slow ones.
The modern swing. Tension, much more pressure put through the spine. It'd be interesting to see how long the players who adopt that type of technique, how long their careers do last when in comparison to able to produce that.
Let's think of the other one. Like a little bit of Morikawa, a little bit of Victor Hovland, you know, that kind of tilted back angle. You know, will those guys make it to the seniors?
Been a bit of putting. You know the answer because we're in this stage of waiting and seeing.
Yeah, but the trend is really, it is to stay on your, I guess it's like hold the face kind of strong and then stay on your right side much longer than an Ernie. Fresh talent, fresh Spieth's game.
It's of course won 2017 when he emerged victorious at Birkdale, one of the best.
Open Birkdale. It was memorable, wasn't it? Let's have a look back at those moves.
And hit it up next to the green, chip it up there, and I have a putt for bogey, and Kuchar just made par, and I'm thinking to myself, with everything that just happened, I can knock. That's a drops. There is no greater history than the Open Championship when it comes to golf.
That eagle on the par 5 obviously gets a lot of credit, but the par 3 after, he almost holed it.
Yeah.
And he got his birdie. It was an incredible finish, and it just showed like the fortitude that he has to be able to have a bounce back from that. Because imagine, he must have known, he must have felt all the eyes were on him because he took his time taking that drop. Obviously went back onto the practice range.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't a usual situation.
No.
But he managed to get through it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like we look at their swings, but sometimes the best part of their game is in their heads.
And one good thing with Jordan is you're never in any doubt what's going on in his head, are you?
Not really.
He doesn't keep it secret.
It is not secret. So,
I mean, Michael Greller, his caddy, wow, he must have ears made of iron because it's unbelievable.
yeah, you'd almost need one of those little machines that the Men in Black guys had that you could just zap them and you forget it all. You need one of those if you're a pro golfer, and you definitely need one if you're a caddy. So Cameron McCormack standing in behind him, long time. Coach. Interesting action. Kind of quite an unorthodox grip. Kind of like a sway off, and kind of like he is left-handed, so he kind of pulls very strongly from his left side. Kind of his right side's quite flat-footed.
Yeah, he's another player who implements a little bit more of a bowed left wrist as he moves through impact. It makes him, the way he exits impact, turning through kind of low and left, wedge and iron player is fantastic.
Yeah.
The control he has over his distance is amazing with the scoring clubs. It just gets a little bit fruity once he starts to get up to his big swings, but
So nervous scenes down on the driving range day one of the Open at Royal Liverpool. Jordan Spieth in picture, just going through a warm-up. Peter, you've been down there since Monday. Been such an interesting watch, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what's great about obviously what we're doing here with Live at the Range is we're able to get in and amongst the very best players in the world as they go through their routines. Like, this is the type of access that we don't get at really any other major championship apart from the Open, really any other tournament in the world. So it's a fantastic insight to get, and that driving range is absolutely stacked with major champions. We've just seen Ernie Els, we've got Jason Day having a little loosen up to the side of Jordan Spieth as well. Some amazing players. It's a great place to be if you do come down to the Open and you do want to watch a lot of golf in a short space of time. Get yourself to the grandstand on the range.
So, the champion golfer in 2017, and the Masters and the Open, and he had a good chance at the Open Championship at St Andrews, and Zach Johnson won. Just a couple of late mistakes, and he could have picked up 3. Anyway.
He was on for the. Was he on for the Spieth Slam that year?
Yeah,
I think he was.
Could have had a Spieth Slam. So lots of looks. It's busy, isn't it? It's a very busy. It's a busy pre-shot routine, and I think. Do you notice how his eyes aim like miles right? It's almost like his head's tilted, eye line miles right to the target.
Yeah, when he's getting set up, he always seems to be. He always seems to be in motion. Like, there doesn't really come a spot before he hits where he stays very still. He's always like tapping or moving or twitching. Very. Not Keegan Bradley-esque, with that type of constant motion before he hits.
Look at that left foot, just like a Scotty Scheffler, really just totally rotated out over on the outside of the ankle there. So, have a look at that left leg. So kind of hips kind of more sway off than turn off. And left side pulls up, and then watch that left foot. Look at that.
Yeah, it's right onto the edge of it, isn't it?
Pete Cowan
doesn't look very comfortable, but he's done it. He's done it all his career. So
yeah. I think that's the difficulty, isn't it? When you're left-handed, it's like your instinctive weight shifts the other way. So I think Stenson is left-handed. So Mickelson's right-handed.
Maybe that's the secret.
Play the other way. Yeah. Top hand. Cricket coaches tell you that, I think. So, does the Spieth game look like he'll be adding another championship to his tally, Peter?
I mean, with his wedges and with his putting, you can never write him out. But we've come into a position now where another major champion walking past there as well. We've had Rick Harrington. Yeah, we've come into a position where Jordan Spieth's obviously still a great player, but a lot of other people have reached and surpassed his level now. So. You know, he needs to go again if he wants to get another major championship in the bag, because there's plenty of other players lining up to want to take it.
Would you give him more of a chance around a golf course like this, or more of a chance around a golf course like the Masters?
I'd give him more of a. That's a tricky one, Simon. I think with the Masters, he's one of those players who obviously loves the course, knows the course, but the Open Championship, with, like I said, with his short game, you can never, ever write him out.
Yeah, I think it's like the Open can be like a scrapper's paradise. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're a good scrapper and you're not an amazing driver, but you're gritty and you've got a magic short game, it just gives you an extra bit of chance. I always think around a clinical golf course like the Masters, if you putt amazingly well like you used to, you can do well. But around here, I always fancy a scrapper like him who's got a lot of fight a lot of fight all the way to the finish.
Scrapper's golf course. I'm gonna have a word with the members at Royal Liverpool, see what they think about that take, Simon.
A scrapper means a good sort of mudder, gritty, a fighter.
And now you call it muddy.
Oh dear. So here we go. Spieth, not long now. It's 8:15 now. Just going through his wedges.
Nice little setup, actually, with the towel on the alignment stick. I've never seen that before. Learn something new every day.
There you go. Just give it a little groove swisher, just to make sure that the launch monitor gets the right spin, gets the right launch, gets the right carry numbers.
He's on range relatively early. He's teeing off at 9 o'clock, and he's been grinding on these wedges for a while.
Yeah. How long does it take to get from here to the first tee? You've got to count for 10 minutes for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty good shuttle service on the go. So the range here at Hoylake is across the road on the old Hoylake Municipal golf course. So it takes them a little bit of time to get over there. The normal range is within the old racetrack in the middle of the course where all the hospitality is now.
Yeah. Yeah, right of one, isn't it? So
I hope that all made sense. I gave a lot of different locations there in one sentence, but it all makes sense once you get here, trust me.
That's right. That's probably your military background. So
yeah, of course, yeah.
Let's have a look. Spieth. And pull that left side through. It looks balanced.
Yeah, it does it. Yeah, we've got, I believe, even more major champions on the range at the moment. So we've had Harrington, we've had Ernie, Jason Day, we've had Jordan Spieth, and I believe Matt Fitzpatrick is down there as well.
Team Fitzpatrick, Billy Foster, Mike Walker. Amazing.
Of course, Matt Fitzpatrick was a silver medal winner. That is the prize awarded to the leading amateurs in the Open.
A very young Tiger Woods. He is sadly missed this week.
Of course he is, yeah. I mean, former Open champions are always, but especially at courses they've won before.
The magic moment for Justin Rose. And he arrived on our scenes, Justin Rose. Amazing. The baby Rory. Matt Fitzpatrick looked like he was 12 years old. Look at that with his brother, Alex. Both of them are now playing. That was last year from Italy. Amazing. And it's always been incredibly important to this tournament, the amateur golfers. And they've been treasured. They're treated as with the utmost respect. I really like that part of the golf tournament. You know, in with the champions locker.
Yeah, it gives a lovely story, and I don't know, again, if it is because of the nature of the Open Championship, the nature of links, but a lot of the amateurs who kind of compete within the Open, a lot of them can get up near the top of the leaderboard as well. Like, they don't always stay there, but they play their part. They're not just there to make up the numbers.
The thing about it is probably, Peter, is that if you think of their competitions, if you're like if you're playing the British Amateur Circuit, you're the guy who's playing the most links golf of anyone in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And the silver medal, it's a nice thing to have in the calendar.
And you come in right before the Open, before the champion golfer. So we have got 6 amateurs this year. How about this for a name? Jose Luis Ballester Barrio.
Wow,
that's a pretty good one. Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira. The Latin guys have got epic names, haven't they? Then we saw Christo Lamprecht. He's from South Africa. Harrison Crow, Tiger Christensen, and then we've chatted a lot to Alex Maguire. So there are your amateurs. Those 6 guys will be fighting for the silver medal. Oh, nice. Some split screen action, Peter.
Yeah, 2 very individual motions there. I mean, Matt wasn't sounding too positive about his game during the press conferences running up to this first round. He was actively suggesting people do not put money on him. Which is probably never a good sign.
It's not, is it? His left-hander, both, here we go. So just those 2 guys clipping away there. Fitzpatrick probably on a 7-iron.
Probably 7-iron for Matt there, yeah.
And Spieth, they will be company. It's a pretty good 3-ball though.
Fitzpatrick, Spieth and Jason Day. Major champions galore out there.
That's a great group to go and follow. Spieth, Fitzpatrick and Day. If you're at the golf course today, it's 9:03. You've time to grab a coffee, head down to the first tee. They won't be long. So
I'll tell you what, if you wanted a group of the best putters in the field, that's probably a good probably a good shout, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah. So Spieth chatting to Cameron McCormack. Fitzpatrick chatting to Mike Walker. Final check. Very unusual grip. Look at the way that logo is on that left hand, Peter, for the Fitzpatrick grip.
I mean, the comparison of those two grips, I don't think you could get much different, could you?
Spectrum enders.
Yeah, you got Matt Fitzpatrick, who is a proper 4-knuckle shuffle on the top there. He can see the entirety of his top hand.
Yeah.
Whereas Jordan Spieth is much weaker. Just shows, you know, there's a million different ways to play this game.
Yeah, you just got to find your sort of pattern there. So, guys just cruising in around 100 apex, so it's not that windy. So these are not at all the sort of the stingers that they've been working on.
No, I mean the weather this morning. There's a slight breeze in the air, but there's not going to be much necessity to really hit those low punchy shots too much this morning. You know, they can go and attack it pretty much with their set games.
Yeah, Spieth working onto something a little bit more energetic. It's a very slow cadence of hits, isn't it? It's like it's a hit, it's a break, it's a hit, it's a break. It's like trying to really control your pace. That's something our amateur golfers could learn from. If you've got 3 balls in the air at one time, you might be hitting a little bit too quick.
I mean, that would be a talent within itself. I wouldn't even be too upset to see that.
I'll tell you what, we should have a go at that.
Do you think
3? You could do it. 3 in the air at one time. You've got to hit 3 shots in 6 seconds, right? If you teed up 3 drivers, okay, I mean, that's your new challenge for the channel.
I'll pop that down. I'll pop that on the list.
Here we go. Spieth. More lateral motion, more left-sided pull through the ball. Watch that left arm work across his body, almost like a chicken wing. Fitzpatrick. Much more kind of like an in and over and hold off that strong face. So everything in the Fitzpatrick swing is all around controlling that club face to make sure it does not shut down through the ball. There you go, pretty neutral flights for whatever they're hitting. Those two were like frozen rotes. So Fitzpatrick putting a little bit more oomph through it. Have a look at this. Spieth. More lateral motion with his lower body. And the left wrist starts to just
starts to bow there. It's interesting at the top of the swing there. So Spieth has a weaker grip, which would potentially cause the ball to go off to the right-hand side. He strengthens that, holds it through by having the bow, whereas Fitzpatrick's club face is closed. So as he moves through, he doesn't need to have anything as far as like a bowing of the wrist. He, like you said, just wants to hold the face off a little bit.
Yeah. So Fitzpatrick's arms don't rotate through the ball. They're almost like hold through the ball, holding the face square as long as he can, and body rotates through. So just interesting. Look at the difference there.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick's leg, left leg, really straight and posted. Spieth's ankle right over. The whole of his shoe is facing sort of that bucket, isn't it?
Yeah,
the whole entire underside of his shoe.
It's a very uncomfortable looking position, but
fascinating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I love that about golf. How it isn't, you know, it's not a case of everyone needs to swing the same. You know, everyone can find a way to make it work for them. Obviously, Fitzpatrick as well has added a huge amount of distance over the last few years.
Amazing, isn't it? Working with a Sasha McKenzie, a lot of, you can see the device that he's got there is a speed sticks, and he's using these speed sticks to really try to find like the way through the sequence to get more and more speed. So
yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, that kind of stacked training system that Fitzpatrick has been using. It's a little bit more complicated than just saying it's a weighted club. However, essentially it's a weighted club.
Yeah, it's just
nothing really moves on in golf, does it?
No, but it's interesting, isn't it, to sort of train your body. So you can train your body to create more speed. That's the thing that's interesting. So
yeah, and with Fitzpatrick as well, he was. I think the thing that's really interesting about him as well is he has gone from being a relatively short hitter to someone who is right up there as a long hitter, and that's fantastic. You know, it is good to see how a player can really alter and change the course of his game with that amount of dedication. It's really, really interesting as well the way he's done it, because he's not gone about it by powering on loads of muscle. He's gone about it by just simply working on his muscles that move the club faster through the ball using that stack system.
Yeah, the biomechanics of moving. So let's have a look here. Kind of goes in, and hands go out, and it really is like all comes together. It you know, certainly snaps hard at the ball, doesn't it? Kicks it. Pretty fast ball speed, but I mean, if he gets into driver, he's got like a 177 ball speed, which is pretty pumped out there for sort of quite a slightly built guy. I mean, that's not the Dustin Johnson body or a Gary Woodland or a Sam Burns. I mean, those guys look like they could just tee up and go out and play sort of a linebacker position. Fitzpatrick certainly not in that build. So left hand goes on, right hand under, a couple of kind of zippy waggles, and kaboom. So we're going to leave Fitzpatrick for a few minutes and find our buddy George. What have you got?
Good morning, everyone. We've made our way down to the chipping area. A couple of very familiar faces have just popped on, and Brooks Koepka and Tommy Fleetwood. What an exciting day it's going to be for these guys. Some big time feature groups coming up very shortly. 9:36. Cantlay, Koepka, Matsuyama, and then Scheffler, Fleetwood and Adam Scott. That's all before our defending champ Cameron Smith alongside Schauffele and Clark, and then Shane Lowry, Ricky Fowler and Robert McIntyre. Speak of the devil. In the zone after a very, very good effort in Scotland on the weekend. He's been going about his business very quietly, and you just get the sense that he is primed for the Open this week, is our Bob McIntyre. In terms of starting your day, guys, I feel like your wedges, you get your hands moving, get feel for it. Brooks has just chipped in. And Jeff, if you just pan to your left ever so slightly, there's a flowing mullet about to come into your picture.
I don't want that.
Our defending champ. Can I have some conversation or? Some commentators.
Well, we've got Cam Smith having a nice little chat to Brooks. Brooks giving it a little bit more of a water of the green.
Keeping it loose.
Is one great thing about Cam, like, he's just so relaxed, he's so chill. Like, having a chat to him down on the range, it was surprising just how calm he was for a defending champion to come back, and obviously having, I want controversial years a strong word, but obviously the whole rivalry now, which was a big thing between him and the PGA, now seems to be dying down a little bit. You know,
yeah,
he's had to field those questions all year, and as a major champion, it can't be easy doing that.
No, I think that's right. I think that probably though, he's kind of kept himself to himself. He was an amazing Open champion, and what he did with his putter in the all week, and what he did from 140 yards and in was astonishing. You know, it doesn't look as though his driver swing is as good. So George is still down there looking at some of these chip shots. George, what do you see down there?
It's just so nice to see them practicing off these tight lies. You can really see them manoeuvring the club face. Wyndham Clark just clipping them ever so nicely.
It's hard to describe, isn't it, George? But it is a different sound when hitting a short pitch off links turf.
Yeah, it certainly is. Really makes you feel inferior as a club golfer, but it's so nice to watch all the different shots. What I love about the chipping green is they'll chuck some up high and fly it to the back pins and drop it and get some razzmatazz, some bit of bite on the ball, but then they'll just pop a couple of low bullets in there as well. So there's just so many different variations of shot, isn't there?
Yeah, just using that bounce, you can see kind of from this type of distance, not really much of a divot being taken, but little puffs of sand as the club whips through. That's lovely to see.
Adam Scott's also just arrived. Can never count that man out of a major.
I think the short game will be crucial. There's a lot of movement off the greens, isn't there, around the sides? You're not going to hit, you know, what's a lot of greens to hit on a day like today? 14? Is that a lot of greens around this golf course?
Around this course, yeah, that would be elite. I think you'd be struggling not to lead if you managed to hit 14 around here. So yeah, the short game, and this is what you see around a lot of the greens as well, this type of runoff area.
Yeah, the greens have changed a lot. I think that was sort of quite surprised by how well they've always been dead flat, apart from 17. But they're all pop-up greens with a lot of runoff. There seems to be now much more shape than there used to be. So it's great to see these golf courses continue to evolve, like reinvent themselves, but keep kind of that same structure. So huge pitching and chipping green. Look at the riveted face there. It's a work of art, the bunkers here.
Yeah, the bunkers around Hoylake, they're one of the major challenges. Certainly the fairway bunkers. If you get in there, it's almost a 0.5 of a shot every time you go in there. George, are you still down there? How's Tommy looking? Is he looking relaxed?
Yeah, Tommy's looking good. He's just spoke to him outside the Players' Lounge. He sounds really calm, relaxed, having a bit of a joke, having a bit of fun. So that's always a good sign. It's such a big day for him and the local fans.
I was going to say, as he heads to the first tee, how many people is he going to be taking with him?
Oh, it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of "come on, Tommies," you know, that great accent around here.
Can I hear that one more time? Sorry, George.
Go on, Tommy.
Oh dear. 9:47. Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott.
Yeah, guys, I really like him playing with Scheffler. I think if Tommy can just keep pace with him and hold on, and if you're anywhere near what he's at, you're going to be somewhere pretty high on that leaderboard, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like with that 3 ball, you're looking at probably 3 of the purest ball strikers really in the field going out together. I mean, Scotty Scheffler has...
Someone's got an open mic. There's a lot of background noise somewhere.
Scotty Scheffler has literally led the PGA field in every category in ball striking and then been horrendously bad with the putter for no apparent reason. Tommy Fleetwood has always been a great ball striker. It's then a case of how well he puts his, how in contention he is. Same with Adam Scott. Just nipping it off that links turf again there, Tommy.
I love that. Look at the little chip shots, you know, sort of the tempo is all coming from the turn, isn't it? Yeah, last little chat with Graham, his long caddy. Graham Walker.
Simon, I love hearing the bounce of the club hitting this firm turf, just popping these balls up. It's just a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? It's like what happens to us is that we see the ball sitting down on the ground, it's tight, and you want to lean into it. But when you lean into it, it's just leading edge. It's almost like you've got to keep your height and really rotate on it, almost like a feeling of like letting the shaft square up to the ball, Peter.
Yeah, and it is it is difficult. If you want to know what the runoffs are like around Hoylake, just go to the green at your golf course, pop a ball down. That's what it's like to chip off. It's so tight, so firm.
Yeah.
Bob McIntyre just hitting a few little cheeky flop shots over that bunker there.
Yeah, he's got a great touch. And look, I mean, he's how how deep's that bunker? Is it 5 feet? The face in
Yeah,
front of him.
And what they've just done there, what his caddy's just done with Bob McIntyre in that bunker, he's thrown a load of balls in straight into the face, and you can see how close they finished to the face. So what they do recently at the Open Championship and what they've done here is they've raked the bottom of the bunkers incredibly flat. So if a ball drops in the back of the bunker, drops in the front of the bunker, that's where it'll stay. It won't roll into the middle, and that it just gives it an extra level of difficulty.
Incredible. So back to the driving range. Flags remain as they do. So our technology really bringing you every single thing that's happening today. So there we go. Oh, Podrick Harrington.
Straight on with the driver. This is what we want to see. Incredible the amount of speed he's been able to add into his swing.
Yeah. Pete Cowan in the background. Just absolutely full beans there, isn't it?
Yeah, so like the way he's been swinging recently, if you kind of keep an eye on his left side, this is a reaction to what's happening in his swing, but it's very noticeable. As he moves through the ball, he's clearing his left side so fast and so much out the way that the whole of his left foot leaves the ground and moves around. It just gives him so much more freedom to actually turn through the ball instead of kind of hitting into his left side and it resisting him. He gets that completely out of the way.
So look at the grimace, the facial expression, everything he's got in that one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, the longevity in his career has been incredible. The love for the game that he has is maybe unmatched. It just gives him that drive. It gives him that reason to keep on going, to try and keep on improving.
Yeah. So here you go. You're Luke Donald. You've just turned into Luke Donald, Peter.
Okay.
Okay. Are you thinking about Podrick Harrington on your team?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because an argument can be made for including him the way that he's playing on the Seniors Tour, which unfortunately doesn't have any kind of world ranking points, so you can't get up the rankings that way. So that leaves him in the majors and in some of the comps where he gets an invite to try and play his way onto the team. It wouldn't be a surprise if you made it, but it's very easy to then turn around and say, well, why aren't you giving some of the young guys a chance? You know, if say Harrington gets in instead of, you know, a Bob McIntyre, for example, or a Rasmus Højgaard, like.
So let's have a look. Harrington working on just under a 180 ball speed. That's really elite on PGA Tour. So for someone who is over 50 on Champions Tour, it's really very, very impressive. And Podrick has done so well in the US last couple of years. Let's have a look what he's got. 293 carry. Look at the grimace.
Yeah, 174 ball speed again. Yeah, so to put that in average, that is to put that in context, that is kind of like pretty much just above PGA Tour average as far as ball speed goes with the driver.
Yeah. 100 feet of height, so that's just pretty much standard. Sort of Rory McIlroy's around 135 plus in terms of apex feet above. Matsuyama probably the highest. Bryson. So let's have a look. Look at the leg work. Bounce. Look where that left foot is.
Yeah.
You know, he's aimed 100 yards to the left now. So
I'm going to throw it out and say that might have been a little bit of a pull.
yeah, I just think he's trying to hit. I think he's out here trying to hit it as hard as he can.
I think so. I think he's just getting those reps.
Just getting a feel for moving through the ball. So we'll show you here. So there he is, Harrington. But watch where his toes are now.
Yeah, that left side completely shifted. So he's just up in the speed again. So ball speed up to 181.
And there you go. 285 smashes into the 300-yard board.
Yeah, so carry 285 with that type of ball speed, that might have been probably not quite optimal launch conditions.
No, I think he's hit that low in the face, right? So have a look. See where the feet are there.
You see that turn. You can see that left heel lifting slightly.
Yeah.
Left knee moving inwards. That allows him more of a turn. It plants down. left leg straightens through impact, and the whole of the left side moves out the way just to relieve a little bit of pressure. So that's what we mean about with that left side, how his left foot is finished behind him. That is a reaction to what's happened before in the swing, not something which is a technical change he's making. It's just getting it out of the way so it frees up a bit of tension.
So here we go. Harrington, Pete Cowan looking across to see the numbers on our big dashboard over to the left. Harrington looking, checking the ball speed, checking the carry.
Yeah, we're talking about longevity in swings as well. Harrington used to be a student of the late great Bob Torrance as well, and lifting that left heel up, allowing the body to turn away, that will take pressure off the back as well. It just allows a little bit more freedom in the hip turn, as long as you can plant it back down and kind of turn it through. It's a great move to make.
So it's a lot of drivers to hit before you go out on the golf course. I think most of the players would hit 6 drivers about. Podrick must be now going up close to 20 drivers.
It's got the fever. It's got the distance fever.
He's got, yeah, that's right. Plenty of speed, 180.
Yeah.
I got to say, I'm impressed by that. And that's drilled. That's kind of a flat, hot flight, 86 feet under sort of normal apex. So it's kind of a more penetrating shot there. The launch is only 8. Probably if he's playing at the Masters, the launch is closer to like 12 or 13. So here we go. This is the work that Podrick Harrington's done. You can see a few chip shots. Top tracer technology. Look at that, Peter. Technology has really, I think, enhanced the viewer's ability to see what's going on in golf.
Yeah, and it's just enhanced everybody's understanding of what happens as well. Like it was, you know, back in the day, like before launch monitor kind of technology, before things like the top tracer, it was a case of saying this happened and this is what we think.
Yes,
this means. Now we have the data to actually back it up.
Yeah, and I think the way to use that data is to sort of validate what you think is going on. So don't let the machines tell you what to do. Use them to say, okay, listen, yeah, that does validate what I was feeling, or any sort of small changes that I'm making.
No, I think we should listen to the machines now. Listen, Simon, it's time to accept that they are going to take over eventually. So
I'm resisting that. Here we go. So dynamic move. It's like, it's funny, you know, Podrick didn't even finish in the place that he started there. Our cameraman missed that.
Completely went off screen.
Yeah. So,
I mean, he's hitting this many drives for a reason, though. So I think this might give us a little bit of an eye into the strategy that he might be employing once he gets out on the golf course. So if he's hitting this many drives before he goes out, I imagine he's going to try and utilise this as a weapon out on the golf course. And that has literally been the talk of the range, is what the tactics are going to be.
Yeah.
So a lot of players have taken their 3-woods out. A lot of players are putting more of a driving iron in, because it's either going to be a driver over the bunkers or attacking the bunkers, or a driving iron short of them.
Yeah. Have you got a winning score in your mind? Could you sort of see, like, if it stays like this, could 14 be a winning score?
I would have said mid-teens, but it depends what happens at the weekend with the weather, because there is a bit more grim stuff kind of coming in. I mean, with the Open, it's been said 100 times before, but it actually really does make a difference is where you get in the draw as well. So the players who are going out this morning, there's no wind.
No.
Really, realistically, for a links course, it's a light zephyr out there. And then this afternoon, if it then picks up, you've probably got the wrong side of the draw. So
I just think if you've got to get to 14, you've got to, let's say, make like probably 22 birdies or something. I think I don't think you can totally avoid the bunkers and totally de-risk your round. You're going to have to take on some of the traps to get that many good shots there.
So yeah, it is an interesting one. Like the course it is tactical. You know, you do have to avoid those fairway bunkers. I mean, some of the bunkers are so punishing. I mean, probably the best example of the punishing nature of these bunkers is the new hole, the 17.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of slopes around that green are intense. And I mean, the left-hand bunker is probably the easiest one to go in, but the one short and the one off to the right-hand side is grim.
Well, our man Patrick Harrington was out on the 17th earlier this week. We can hear what he thought about it.
They've obviously set this hole up to be the marquee hole of the week. If you're chasing, you want dramatic holes like this where you can make a birdie. You're going to see a bit of excitement. You're going to see a bit of pain. There's an opportunity to make up a couple of shots on the last, but also now on 17, there looks like there could be an opportunity if you're chasing, maybe to catch 1 or 2 shots on the leader. It looks like a hole that you would be a little bit cautious on. Play to the middle of the green. 4 days of good golf, so 1 on the par would be very acceptable for this hole.
And the parade of major champions continues out on the range. Here we have Brooks Koepka, and I think Taylor Gooch next to him, dressing to match.
What did you think of Brooks's warm-up? Do you think Brooks did a lot of work on the driving range this week? I mean, he went out to the golf course and then came back in and worked hard, didn't he?
Yeah. So I was having a chat to Claude earlier this week, and his ball striking isn't quite where it needs to be. I think they were working on a little bit of setup, a little bit of ball position, just trying to kind of really fine-tune that strike. But you can tell there's certain players out there who, you know, are searching for a little bit more than others, and Brooks was one of those this week. But you know, his mentality and his attitude around majors is so unbelievably strong that if he starts getting a few flush, then yeah, he's going to be in contention. You'd be surprised if he's not.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at his swing. So really kind of like an interesting action here. So someone who is like really built everything to avoid going left, right? So the big thing is, whatever I do in my swing, I got to not go left. So the weight shift in his backswing kind of holds a little bit more towards his right toe. So he's trying to not load his right heel, right? And then really send Claude. Can you move, please? Claude, I'm going to text him. Sorry about that. So, like that's like playing basketball with Shaquille O'Neal in front of you. Okay, so then all about working from the sort of the right toe straight away diagonally across into the left heel. So really trying to feel as though, although he does have a lateral, he gets into the rotational movement very, very quickly.
Yeah, he the way he moves into impact as well, his kind of arm positioning, his wrist position and impact. Like I said, it is a swing which is designed to not lose the ball off to the left-hand side, but it's also a swing which absolutely drills down onto the golf ball. He's in a minority of players who still hits down with the driver as well, kind of coming through impact. Yeah. But the speed that he generates and the power that he generates, I don't want to fanboy too much, but as far as ball striking goes, like, he is absolutely elite.
Yeah, he is elite. So
yeah, especially when he gets that driving iron out. He's had that Nike driving iron in the bag now for years. It's a 3-iron bent to a 2-iron. I remember watching him at St Andrews and thinking, it's just a flight that is unbelievable.
It's like a frozen rope, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I remember going down that range and like having a look at a few plays and thinking, oh yeah, that's a nice swing, oh that's a nice strike, and you know, I could see myself doing that. And eventually got down to Brooks and he was hitting that through. I was like, I physically don't understand how he's doing that.
Yeah,
it's just such a good fly. You know, if you're into that type of thing.
Yeah, I am. Here we go. So let's take a closer look at this. So Koepka, quite a steep shoulder turn and very abruptly working to the left. So look where his chest is. His right shoulder's like miles ahead of his left shoulder through the ball. So really, really rotating open. Chest and hips rotating open.
Big broad shoulders as well. I really do sound like a fanboy there.
Just calm down,
okay,
Peter.
I'm gonna excuse myself from Brooks Koepka.
Here we go. So,
right
what are we thinking there? That's probably a 7-iron, isn't it? Steely eyes, determined, ready for the challenge. Some victory had at Oak Hill.
Well, I think whatever he's been doing to correct his ball striking is working, because those 3 shots have pitched within a duvet cover away from each other.
Quite steep through the ball, probably one of the more steep attack angles
in
the game. held. Not sure he liked that one. He does not want to see the ball fall to the left. So hits the apex, drop to the right. So
that is also 3 shots in a row where his carry's been 181 on the number.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going all in. All the money on Brooks.
Okay, metronomic movement. So Brooks Koepka. So the Brooks Koepka action seems to have turned the corner. Going to be interesting to see. And we're going to join Di Stewart down on the driving range. Di, what have you got?
All he's done is get speed over
Thanks,
the
Richard. Here with Pete Cowan, who was just with Podrick Harrington. You've been with Podrick, we were just saying, what, 12 years now?
Yeah, since Bob died, yeah. And it's all he's worked on is speed, getting faster and faster and faster, which is easy. Just stand there and say, hit it harder and harder and harder, and then he gets faster and faster. It's easy.
And
that's an easy coaching job, that.
He's hitting it further as well.
He is, and he's playing great. He'd be my Ryder Cup pick, that's for sure.
Podrick's out with Seamus Power and Taylor Gooch at 9:14, which is what, 24 minutes time. He's just was he in a good mood?
Yeah, good, and he was hitting it well. He's got a heavy hit on the ball, which is great for links golf. So yeah, happy days, and he played well last week.
Your Ryder Cup pick, would you say?
Oh my goodness, experience.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm kind of like Pete in a sense. You know, you can't beat a little bit of experience in the team, and he's got plenty of that. I mean, it's a bit of a weird one. Don't get me wrong. I mean, past captain comes back in, but if you're good enough and you're playing great enough, why don't you get playing?
Yeah, I mean, he's so hungry for it, isn't he?
He thinks he can win every tournament, and you know that's what we always say about golfers. If they haven't got belief in themselves, then they're going to struggle, and he's got more belief than most.
Yeah. What time was he up this morning then?
He was up very early, he always is, and then he does his stretching and then off he goes. But he's happy with himself, and he's playing well on the seniors tour, winning tournaments out there. And as I said, he thinks he can go on forever.
Yeah. It's a different atmosphere today, isn't it? The start of a major championship, down to business, and one of your players, you're a short game coach. Why is that? Brooks Koepka. You made me giggle a minute ago because you described yourself as his short game coach, under 300 yards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anything under 300 yards.
Claude can do everything over 300 yards.
Yeah, we've just
we've
just been looking
so
at Brooks and what he's doing this morning. And he's had some really decent finishes in Open Championships. What is it, 3 top 10s?
Yeah, I mean, he'd love to win an Open, obviously. This one, any links course, he loves playing. He loves playing the Dunhill tournament, so he likes links golf, and eventually he will win one of these, whether it's this year or not. There's no doubt about it. He's 5 majors in from 2017. It's great, but as I said with all players, I've talked more people down off the ledge than giving them good golf lessons before majors, and that happened at Erin Hills when his attitude was appalling, and I had to sit him down and tell him with that sort of attitude he'd win nothing, and then obviously he's won 5 majors since then. But that's not coaching, that's just...
tough love, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to tell the truth. Now, I was going to ask you though, Pete, he's obviously gone through a little operation on his knee there. I mean, how has that transformed his swing, and how's he come back from that? I mean, he's come back obviously strong to win a major.
Well, he's still very sore in his knees, and obviously his hip's okay now. His trainer's done a great job, and when he's a fit player, watch out, 'cause as he did in the Masters and the PGA this year. He didn't particularly like the course at LA, so he finished I think 17th or something, and that's a poor finish for him in a major, but I expect him to be a lot better than that this week.
We're going from LA to Hoylake. How do you rate this golf course? Because it looks pretty phenomenal to me.
I like the golf course. I mean, it's not my favourite. I mean, my favourite golf course on the open road is Birkdale, but
is it?
Yeah, I like Birkdale, and I like St Andrews, obviously, just mainly for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And luckily I played 2 opens at the St Andrews and 2 opens at Birkdale, but Birkdale would definitely be my favourite.
Someone asked me that question, which one would I pick? I went for Hoylake, so me and you were in opposite. So
Divided opinion here.
Yeah.
Brooks said he wants to get to 10 majors. That's realistic, isn't it?
5 and counting, that's what he says.
Yeah, he's halfway there. And you've got, who else is here with you this week?
Victor Perez here this week.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Good player.
And then I've got Callum Shinkwin. I'm doing short game with Joaquin Neiman, who's a really, really, really good player. And obviously Danny Willett. And, we've got 7 players here this week. So it's a quiet week. I mean, normally I have, figures and more, but Mike Walker, who works with me, he's got more players than me these days. So, yeah, he's a good coach, and he's a good young coach, and he's going to come through, and I'm going to disappear.
You teach him well.
How do you divide your time this morning then, before the first round?
You don't, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
You watch and you say good swing, off you go, and
Yeah.
get
It's
a
all
good
done,
score.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
of
all
course
done.
it is. If you're talking about golf swings at this time,
Oh my God,
it's
something wrong.
You're in serious
Yeah,
trouble.
serious
Have you had your breakfast this morning, Pete?
No, I've had a couple of cups of tea, and that'll do me, no problem at all. I
Right,
can
so
last on a couple of cups of tea.
Oh,
Good
good
boy.
stuff. Impressed with Matthew Jordan the way he started. I think he's. I'm just going to check his. We're just checking his score now, but he's 2 under par actually.
Yeah, Mike Walker, who works with me, works with Matt, and yeah, obviously he's a local boy. Played Hoylake since he was 2 years old, so yeah, he should have a bit of an advantage, shouldn't he?
What do you think the pressure would have been like for him on that first tee? I mean, I was just feeling it for
But
him.
he's a confident lad, so
Yeah, he
you
is.
know, I mean, and he always plays links golf really, really well. If you look at his scores on links when he was an amateur, he was always good on links courses.
Yeah. But how do you prepare for that opening tee shot? Because we've seen some wayward ones this morning.
Yeah, I mean, stage fright. Some people get more stage fright than others, and you know, some people deal with it better than others. But there's always stage fright. But you know, I don't think it's that difficult tee shot. But yeah, a lot seems to go going left down the left-hand side there, away from those bunkers.
Yeah.
Keeping away from.
We're talking
bunkers.
about a local boy. We just got a local boy turned up, Tommy Fleetwood. He's got to be a good favourite for this week, hasn't he?
You would think so, yeah. Obviously, he's got a lot of support. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Should we? Oh, he's got I would say they're blush pink trousers.
Yeah, he's a brave soul.
Not my colour.
No,
Not
me
your
neither.
colour. Rory wore them the other day. I think it's blush pink, would you say?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, he looks
He's looking
all right.
very smart. Okay, we're going to have a look at Tommy Fleetwood's swing very shortly. Pete, thanks very much. Should we go and get some brekka just for 5 minutes? We'll be back in a couple, but we're going to get some food now. See you in a moment.
All the best.
Cheers, Pete.
We're told that the weather forecast for today is kind early on, with the possibility of some wet weather later.
I think Mother Nature kicks it up another notch.
Quite extraordinary. What a moment.
Amazing scenes we've got for you live at the range. All our new technology sort of opening up a whole new view. So this is our worm cam players hit. Oh, and we've got a mobile worm cam. I guess it goes slow, but there you go. Right to left wind for the players today. That's been sort of the traditional wind this week. We've seen some superstars. Patrick Cantlay, he must be thinking, when am I going to win my first major? So Cantlay at 8:36, not too long. He's going to go out with Brooks Koepka and Hideki Matsuyama. That's a fun group to go and watch. So Cantlay, just having a look at those numbers. 222 carry. What is that? That might be a 4-iron. So Cantlay, arms hang away from him, move around him. The thing that he works on, Jamie Mulligan is his golf coach, been his golf coach forever. just to try to keep those arms out in front of his chest. So there's sort of like there's a sequence between upper body and lower body, and there's another sequence between chest and arms. So Cantlay working hard on the latter part, the chest and arm sequence. See that left arm hang quite far away from him. Towering iron shot. How would you like to hit a 4-iron 100 feet in the air and 225 yards? That would be not a nice little thing to have in your game, wouldn't it? So those hands really sort of hang much more, instead of underneath his shoulders, out sort of under his chin, and then around him, and then really using that rotation through the ball to launch it. Did he like that? Maybe. It's going to be a good test, Patrick Cantlay, around here. Will he be able to step up to the next level and really contend? So he's going to have Brooks Koepka, who is a sort of a major specialist, rises to the occasion. For some players, they really find it hard to perform in the top level. For Brooks Koepka, he's only interested in coming to these tournaments and really showing his skills. Koepka with a driver. This is going to be the crucial club, I think, today. Let's have a look, see what he's got. Hates that, hates it. Toe hit and left. So Koepka does work with Claude Harmon III. Quite a lot on posture. Don't get too far away from the ball. So you're trying to find room, but don't give yourself room away from the ball. That can bring the toe strike in. Toe strike means left. Koepka hates it going left. And he has worked a lot this week on the driving range. So he's a guy who's happy with his game, has a round and then kind of might take it easy. Koepka's been pounding it straight off the golf course onto the driving range, working hard on the mechanics. Let's have a look at Koepka here. He's powerful. Is that the flight he wants? Start right, go right. And it's a decent carry, 286 off 176 ball speed. So that's not the full beans shot, that's just kind of like the fairway finder. Probably might release that to 310 yards. Fairways have had a little bit of the sting taken out of them by some rain that we had on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wow, it's neat, isn't it? 172. These are just little fairway finders, probably like a 90% of full power for Koepka. So let's have a look. He's going to have Patrick Cantlay for company today. So here we go, Cantlay on your right, Koepka on your left. Matsuyama is going to be the third member of that pretty excellent pairing. So those guys will be heading out at 9:36, excuse me. Koepka just a little bit more through his routine, through his session. Cantlay just getting to the 3 wood, so just 3 or 4 minutes behind. But Koepka has hit a lot of woods, so obviously thinking, in looking at the conditions and looking at the course layout, that the driver is going to be crucial. That's just a neat action, isn't it, from Koepka? The lean, new ball, give me another ball. I haven't quite got it. Cantlay 3 wood off the deck. So there you go. The Koepka-Cantlay combo sending down some shots. Brooks is into driver, Cantlay into the 3 wood, Koepka another one. So 176 ball speed. And that launch is going to be, look, I mean, Koepka does probably hit like maybe 1 or 2 degrees down on his driver, so he's not going to be sort of the high one. So the sort of the myth that everyone hits way up through the ball, that definitely doesn't happen. You know, I would say the average is maybe still just a hair down. Some guys do hit massively up, but we don't see that too much. Okay. Cantlay sends it, launches it. 113 apex. Just a little baby fade, so Koepka has finished with his driver, now working back down through his irons. Probably hit a 5-iron, probably hit a 7-iron, probably hit a few wedges, and then head to the tees. Takes about 10 minutes to get up to the first tee. Shuttle bus required. Cantlay hitting 3 woods. Koepka just going through a posture discipline that he's been working on, a ball position discipline that he's working on. If you're a fader, you can't get it too far back in your stance because you just lose space. So you've got to kind of keep it up. But when you keep it up, don't aim too far left, so it's a never-ending sort of circle, isn't it, in golf? We've all been there. Cantlay, baby draw. Koepka allergic to anything that goes left in the air. So conflicting styles. Fascinating to see our top tracer technology. So Koepka up at the top of the launch. Pretty much frozen rope there. So 180 carry. Might be just now just cruising through a few easy 7-irons. Cantlay at 166. He's probably still hitting his 3-wood off the deck. So very deliberate Koepka. Let's have a look. Great actions. Whose action would you like to have? Let's have a look. What Cantlay's ball speed be? 174, 175, I think, probably in there. Koepka now. Let's have a look at Cantlay. Arms hanging out. Right side really chasing forward. Let's have a look. So, yeah, the Patrick Cantlay 173, that's his first tee shot, so probably just about what he would expect there. And that's on just an average. I'd say like if you took the whole of the field, that's kind of what the whole of the field, if you average them out, looks like. Yesterday we had, oh, here we go, some spritz clean action for you. Brooks with a wedge. Loaded, and now look how quickly, yeah, so Brooks's club a little bit stronger, left wrist a little bit stronger, then the hands are going to work out and kind of into that left pocket. See him there, sharp shallows, and Brooks just really, look how open his body is there, look how open his hips and chest are as he works the club, trying to go across the path, try to make sure that that face to path does not get too close on him. So trying to create the fade movement. Cantlay now loaded, higher left hand position, right side's going to work more down and forward through that left side. So hips really open, chest resisting that, and then that right side a little bit more like a forehand feeling. Look at the way those arms go, so like a topspin forehand. Brooks Koepka, much more of a kind of a blocking movement with the arms and rotating movement with the hips, creating different shapes, and that's your stock shot. You know, going to be interesting to see. Cantlay, Koepka, fantastic. Look at that. It's a lot of shots, isn't it? That's your warm-up. Just double checking. Amazing graphics. Koepka in the yellow, Cantley in the black. All evens out, doesn't it? Just getting, so our thanks to the whole of the guys at Top Tracer who've just been amazing. So our man Fred, you can't beat Fred. Here we go. Power by Cantley. Precision by Koepka. They will have each other for company alongside Hideki Matsuyama. Brooks working through a few little precision shots there, just getting the feeling for the new turf. It's a big change if you come from the US where the ball sits so high on the grass. Here it really sits down on the ground, so just getting your strike, getting a feel for it. The links turf is just amazing. Cantley looking at his numbers. It's all about hitting it in the sweet spot with a driver. What you don't want to do, anything low in the toe, high in the toe, low in the heel. You don't want to have that. So all about getting exactly the right hit in the sweet spot. You see Cantley's sweet spot look like it's got a little wear out hole on the face there. So Brooks Koepka, a little cheeky high five with Pete Cowan, who stayed out of his way. So those guys are ready to go. Koepka goes, Cantley just 5 minutes behind him in the routine. So as they head off, we'll take a little break and come back in a few minutes.
Doctors confirm golf is good for your physical and mental health.
Oh.
Welcome back to Live at the Range. A lot of people from all over the country have travelled here to Hoylake to Royal Liverpool to watch the first day of the 151st Open Championship. This is a course that is really steeped in history with some fantastic past champions, including Harold Hilton, Walter Hagen, Bobby Jones, Tiger Woods 2006, Rory McIlroy 2014. We are down on the range. I am here, Di Stewart, with Peter Finch. Pete, good to see you this morning. I know you've been in the commentary box with Simon Holmes.
Indeed.
Feeling fresh?
I am feeling absolutely hyped right now.
Yeah.
That cappuccino has hit the system, but more than anything, I'm just excited to be down here on the range.
Yeah.
It's just really like, I don't know, it's just exciting, like these guys.
It's like Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, this is golfing Christmas in July, and they're all willing, they're just desperate to kind of get out and get out on the course now.
This is what the spectators can see from the grandstand, and it's pretty full. I've been in there quite a few times this week, and it is, yeah, I would say capacity sort of 60% right now. We've got some big names on the range, of course, because some important tee times are coming up. I'm looking at the world number one, Scotty Scheffler, and two bays to his right, Tommy Fleetwood. But there's one of the young lads I'm sure will be inspired by watching these golfers. You can pick up some top tips, can't you? Just see the rhythm, how methodical they are on the range, and what kind of routines they go through.
I think, well, I mean, said it before, I think if you are coming to the Open, this is one of the best places to be live, because you do get to see all these players multiple times and going through their routines, and there is an absolute smattering of major champions on this range at the moment in time. And the fan favourites, Tommy Fleetwood, obviously he's going to be carrying a lot of people around with him today. Scotty Scheffler, what group that is, by the way. Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, absolute ball striking maestros all together.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to predict, isn't it, who is going to be at the top of that leaderboard come Sunday. But Tommy, so much has been spoken about him coming into this championship. Just remind our viewers what kind of form he's in right now, how you see him playing.
It's always down to the putting. Like, form-wise, ball striking-wise is unbelievable. It's absolutely, it is up there at the very top of the world, but just need more putts to actually go in the hole. Like, being so consistent, always up there in the top 5, the top 10. But the margins for error at this level are so small. Like, we're talking 4 or 5 putts going in.
Yeah. It was a tied 6 at the Scottish Open last week. Second place, tied 5th at the US Open, of course. Did really well there. Second at the Canadian Open, tied 5th at the Wells Fargo Championships. There's a bunch of top 10s there for Tommy Fleetwood. 21 in the world rankings. Is that too low down for Tommy?
Not really, because he's not a prolific winner. He's an incredibly consistent finisher within events, but he just needs to get over that line that a little bit more. But that's from our perspective, my perspective. Obviously, he's trying. Obviously, he's trying as hard as he can. And if he got over the line this week, that would put the last few years into a sharp contrast of building up to this perfect moment about winning in front of some of his home fans as well, because he's only from just up the road, so there's going to be a lot of people coming down from Southport to watch.
Tell us about a little bit about his caddy, Ian Finnis.
Yeah, not a man to argue with. Like,
no.
if he tells you to hit, he's about 6'9". If he tells you to hit an 8-iron, you're going to hit an 8-iron. He's very straightforward, isn't he? Yeah.
On the course.
He's also got a very local accent as well.
He certainly does.
I first met Finno in a restaurant in Abu Dhabi, and it was quite loud, and I just ended up agreeing with everything he said. I have no idea what that first conversation was about, but it was. I'm sure it was fantastic. I'm sure I didn't agree to anything too out of order.
Very straightforward, though. As I say, I played with Tommy actually a couple of years ago in a pro-am at the BMW PGA Championship pro-am at Wentworth, and their interaction is short, to the point, comfortable, easy. It's what you want. It's a relationship that, these relationships, player caddy, we've been speaking about all week, but it's a good one. It's a solid one.
Yeah, I mean, you need that relaxed nature a lot of the time with your caddies. I mean, caddies, as long as they can get the number right, as long as they can keep their players in the correct headspace and they're comfortable with each other, that's what you need. You need to be able to rely on your caddy in the heat of the moment to make the right decisions and say the right things. And because they've known each other for so long, that really does become a lot easier. Imagine going into this time tournament, getting in contention and being with a caddy who you don't really know. Yeah. It's a level that's not going to make you as comfortable as you would be with someone that you've known for a long time. And you see it a fair bit, players who know people or good friends with people, getting them on the bag and then developing that relationship. You've got Tommy, you've got Finno, you've also got Rory, you've got Harry Diamond. These type of partnerships do spring up. They do work really well.
Just a reminder of the scores right now as play is underway. Round 1 is underway. Matthew Jordan is through 10 holes, 2 under par.
That's
Great
brilliant.
start.
Brilliant stuff.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? My goodness, he must be... I can only imagine what the adrenals are doing, the cortisol levels in his body right now.
Well, I would like to know how he slept last night, because I was getting to bed last night and I was thinking about how amazing it is, but also how nervous he would be. And I've got to be honest, I couldn't sleep for 10, 15 minutes just thinking about how he would be feeling.
Yeah.
So God knows what he must have felt like. But if you can get comfortable and you can use that home support to your advantage, it's only going to push you onwards. I mean, it was 6:30 this morning, and he was carrying about 3,000 people around with him.
It was. It was goosebumpy on that first tee. Lucas Herbert, 2 under par. Lamprecht, the amateur, who we've spoken to at -2, some early birdies out there, benign conditions.
Yeah, if you want to try and, listen, you're never ever going to win a tournament on the first day, but you can put a lot of people out of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get out there early this morning while the weather, like I said, the wind is really down, you can get a good score. Some of the pin positions are a little fruity.
Tell us, yeah.
Like certainly on the third hole, it is worryingly close to the outer bounds. But
yeah.
You know, in these conditions, you know, with the greens being a little bit softer because of the rain we've had, they can fire him in a little bit more. I'd expect there to be a 66 in there today, I would have thought, from these early starters.
I love looking at the pin positions. Do you? When they came out last night, I was like, oh gosh, that's a tricky one. Were you the same?
Yeah, look,
it's
very golf nerdy, isn't it?
It is
very
great.
golf. Get those pin sheets to a bit. Ooh,
how they plot where they're going to put them, and then Sunday's pin sheets are always really exciting, aren't they?
Yeah, but I was out in the town as well, so I was looking at them. That's why I was getting all excited.
Kev, my cameraman, is just handing me the pin sheet now because mine have blown away somewhere.
Kev's ghost hand just coming in from the side.
He's got quite a large left hand. If we have a quick look at the pin sheets, let's focus on the third, you said.
So that is a smelly pin. So the outer bounds literally runs all the way down here. But you can see quite a few, like 4th is tucked, 5th is tucked, 6th is...
slightly slow for Kev.
Yeah, 6th is kind of tricky. Sorry, Kev, come on, you've got to keep up it. 6th is a little bit tricky, kind of tucked at the back. It makes that hole a lot longer. But, you know, considering some of these greens are quite big, the greenkeepers seem to be saving the middle of them.
11. Matthew Jordan, our leader at -2, is about to play the 11th hole, which is called Punch Bowl. That looks a bit smelly as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only advantage here, so one thing that these pin sheets don't show, so the 11th hole, you can feed it in.
Feed it round.
From that side. So you'll see a lot of players kind of landing it a little bit short towards the centre, a little bit of cut, and just trying to get it feeding over towards that pin.
So actually, it's not that bad.
If you go straight at it, you can get in problems in that bunker, but the majority of these pins, you can feed it in a little bit.
Yeah, where is it on 13, which is the Alps par 3? A green which goes across the D estuaries on this side. It's at the back of the green. This green is 37 yards long, that one.
Yeah, on that hole, that's actually a relatively easy kind of pin position.
That's a birdie opportunity, isn't it?
You've got to go over the corner, so this mound here...
Oh, you've done your nails as well.
Yeah, well, I'm on TV, aren't I? I've got to look fancy. You go over this mound here, you can access the back of the green. It's just a little bit of an optical illusion. The toughest pin here is where this bunker comes into play, because there's a bit of a slope that feeds down to it. So, I mean, the 13th hole, that's probably one of my favourites on the course. It's an absolute beauty.
And the 14, which is the dogleg left.
Yeah.
That's, isn't there there's a runoff here?
There is, yeah. So that's going to be a safety shot. You know, the majority of players here are going to be short middle. It is a plotter's course. Like, you do have to be careful around what you're doing. To be honest, the toughest pin I've seen today, and this is something that we're probably going to be seeing all week, is on 17.
Let's go there.
If any players are watching this before they go out, do not go for that pin. See this bit here?
Yeah.
This is where you want to be. But there's a bunker here, short right, where it all rolls off, is grim. Like, you might as well be descending into the first step of hell down there. And the problem is, if you go long, well, if you go long and right as well, the feed off and the runoff area, it actually loops down here, and the ball drops into the back of the bunker. And because the bunkers have been raked flat, like, you can rack up a double bogey there so easily. Yeah. It's a scary, scary place to be. So 17 is a tricky one. The actual pin on 18 is tough as well, tucked behind those two bunkers there.
They're nasty, aren't they?
So if you want to get close to that, if you're going in par 5 second shot, you can feed it to the right, but you're going to really have to leave yourself kind of like between 110, 90 yards to get a little bit of spin, get the ball behind that pin and trying to zip it back. Those front bunkers are a little bit tricky.
17, beware.
Yeah, I mean,
literally
all week, beware of the 17, but that pin's whiffy.
That's whiffy, smelly.
And the first step of that, you know, 17 is going to be tough this week, that's all I'm saying.
That's it. I just said, as we were doing the pin positions, Tommy Fleetwood and Finno walked past, and just a nod of the cap, come on. He's got so much pressure. I saw the faces from the crowd behind. They're playing with Adam Scott and Scotty Scheffler.
I think
There's Scotty. We're having a quick look at Adam Scott.
I think that's actually quite a good, comfortable group though, because all those players they're quite mellow. You know, they're quite a chilled kind of personality.
Very
so
true.
I think that'd be quite a nice, comfortable group to be in. I know Tommy's going to be under a lot of pressure because it is more local than, you know, the only more local major he's going to get is at Birkdale. So a lot of people are going to be following him around. There's going to be pressure on, but I think with those two, it should be, be nice.
Having a quick look at Scotty Scheffler. So they're off in 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes time. Playing in his third Open Championship. God, he's just burst onto the scene and gone right to the top of the world rankings. It's an incredible story.
Well, I mentioned about this group about their putting. So Scotty Scheffler, strokes gained, every single metric ranking on the PGA Tour this year, he is better than anyone else. Ball striking, he is unbelievable. Putting has been horrendous this year. Honestly, if I would have put for him this year, he would have won 12 times, and that is saying something.
Wow.
So, but it's completely kind of, it's just so strange because he's so talented from tee to green, and for whatever reason, he's just not feeling it on the greens. This year at the Open, it might be a little bit different because the greens are running a bit slower, they're receptive, and they're actually quite flat out there. So if you're going to have a good putting week, these are the types of greens that you can, because you can give them a bit of a run. The greens aren't running fast. You know, you can give the putts a little bit more of a run at the hole.
Who's he working with on his putting?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if he's working with anyone. I think he should be, but the thing is though, like, he's number one player in the world.
Yeah.
But that is how good that his ball striking has been, that he's been able to still finish in the top 10 of literally every single tournament with bad putting. So listen, he'll get it right. He's way too talented not to, but just it's scary to think how many times he would have won if he'd have putted well.
And here's a man who almost won. 2012, we saw the Big Easy on the range earlier on. He teed off and on his first tee shot, he looked, went straight in the bunker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not happy. But Scotty, so close to an Open Championship victory in 2012. Just, he's got a golf swing which repeats. If there is one golf swing that people want to watch and go back to, it's his.
And it's been the same for 20 years now.
Yeah.
He's honestly, he's such.
Checking his.
Checking those pin positions. I think he's just since 17. It's like, what is that? Like, what am I looking at here?
We've got Scotty Scheffler just walking past us as he heads to the tee. Adam, I'm sure, will follow suit very soon. There he is with his caddy. Bright yellow bag today.
Strong bags, those aren't they? Those TaylorMade ones. Wow. It's one of the best. Well, one of the best things equipment-wise is when all the manufacturers make the special editions.
Yeah, really good. This is the walk. Well, George did the walk from the putting green to the first tee. We're at the driving range, which is actually across the road, so the guys have to get a shuttle bus here. It's a very short journey, and in fact, the infrastructure here is great. They've done a really good job in getting people around, and people being able to move around the course is fantastic.
It's a great.
It doesn't feel like it's
no.
There are too many people here, does it?
No, it's a great shout out to the production team here as well about being able to like go between the short game area to here to the putting green, because normally it's a private members club normally. They use the range on the inside of the train track. This facility over here, I think they are looking to develop it to make it a little bit more permanent from what I understand, but the actual infrastructure of getting the players around, I think they've done a really good job, because it could have been difficult. It could have been difficult, yeah.
No, they have done a great job. So Adam Scott will go soon. He'll get in a little shuttle, go across to the clubhouse where the putting green is, and then do that walk that we saw George do, which was up the steps over one of the fairways. It's over the. Where does the bridge go?
It kind of loops over the walkway between the second and the third tee. I'm kind of going all the way there.
Yes, behind the second
green to the third tee. Sorry, yeah.
And it's about probably a 4-minute walk, lots of thoughts going through your head as you're about to hit that first tee shot. So Matthew Jordan will have done that at 6:30 to get there for 6:35. But final preparations there. Speaking of George, actually, he's somewhere.
Hello. Great to see you guys again. Joe LaCava. We've just had Brooks Koepka, Hoon pass with Patrick Cantlay. The big groups are about to arrive, including this man here, Tommy Fleetwood. Ian Finnis on his bag. This is going to be big. Last few putts for Tommy to get him in the zone. We talked about it earlier, about how excited the crowd's going to get around this first tee. You bet your bottom dollar there's going to be some sort of atmosphere. How was he looking on the range, guys?
He was looking good. He was moving beautifully, like fairway Jesus was in full flow. Is he popping down onto the green?
He's popped down just for a couple of putts. He's off very shortly. What's our time now? 9:30, so he's got about 6 or 7 minutes. Just a couple of little putts to feel it in the hands.
I was just debating, George, are they the same colour as Rory McIlroy's trousers the other day? Pink blush?
I was literally just thinking that they are the blush rosé coloured pants. Yep.
I love the way you say rosé, George. When are you getting some?
Rosé. How do you say rosé?
Rosé. Slightly
Rosé.
different enunciation.
I do love a little rosé. But, yep, he's looking good. The wind's just started to pick up a little bit. We're actually quite high here on the entrance to the clubhouse.
Yeah, actually, we've just felt it a little bit more on the range, literally just now as you said that, George. What are the crowds like down there? It looks like it's building. They're building up.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We can't show you too much golf action, but you can see in the general distance that this place is starting to fill up. Things are heating up, and then even through the concourse and stuff, I can see the first tee's going to be lined up for these feature groups.
It's to your left shoulder, to your left, George. I'm just trying to get the right direction. So that is it's the third hole, isn't it? And with the walkways across.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the third hole, which turns up to the right with the internal out of bounds. Traditionally, the first hole for the members.
Yeah. And then across there, George, when you can see spectators going across. The Open Championship have done a fantastic job. There's the shop area, lots of places to eat and to mingle.
Yeah, the big shop. That's where.
It can be a dangerous place.
Very dangerous. You've got to go in there with the right headspace, or you'll get found out.
How much have you spent so far?
I actually haven't been in there yet. It's I've been running the fairways too much. I need to.
I've been there 14 times. I've basically spent my holiday money in there. It's fantastic. So much is available. You've got mugs, you've got key rings, you've got towels, tops, trousers, and I've got them all. My suitcase going home, I've had to actually buy a new suitcase.
Yeah, I managed to lose 200 quid in there yesterday.
Did you lose it? Just lost it?
I don't even know what I don't even know what I've got.
Yeah.
I've got this hat. I know
do you know
that.
what's great? You look marvellous.
Thank you.
What is great, George, is when I go in there, hear voices from all over the world, and I think that's what you've heard when you've been out and about the last few days. People have travelled from literally all over the globe, haven't they? Yeah,
it's awesome. There's so many accents. A lot of Americans, obviously, but it's hard to not hear the local accent.
Can you do it?
Well,
can you do it?
Can we have a go, please?
Oh, come on, guys. Let's not go. It's we've been trying it all week.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
There we
Down
go.
in Liverpool.
There we go.
Yeah, that's not too bad, that.
If you get down to Ian Finnis over here. Come on,
Ian,
Tommy. Let's get going, Tommy. We've got a tea time.
Oh, we were talking about that. And it's 9:47, which is in 13 minutes' time. And it's about taking deep breaths, isn't it, right now? Staying cool, calm and collected ahead of a first tee shot. I mean, he knows he can do it. He's got the game to do it. He's got the local support. He's come second in an Open Championship. He's got the hairdo as well.
Yeah, he's also got his putting coach with him there, Phil Kenyon.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign when your putting coach brings a spirit level out onto the green with him. Really going in depth.
You're being sarcastic.
No, look, he literally has a spirit level in his hand. Whenever you see Phil Kenyon with his players before he goes out, there is absolutely no detail left unturned.
Yeah.
He is honestly, he's a fantastic coach.
You know him, George, don't you?
Yeah, so he's actually a member and a highly praised member down at Hillside, just down the road. So he's got a little, what would you call it, a memorabilia room of sorts, with all his photos, all his achievements, and all his past champions. So he's very highly regarded. And then he's got a training facility, I believe, at Formby. So he'll have a lot of local support as well.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay, countdown is on for that group. Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, and Adam Scott. He's left the range now, so he's on his way over to you, George. Thanks for now. We'll speak to you very shortly.
All right, yeah, and hopefully the world number one and Adam Scott are here to join Big Tommy.
Yeah, good stuff. Can't wait. So many fantastic tee times, including Cam Smith. He's off at 9:58 with Xander Schauffele and Major Champ Wyndham Clark. Okay, speaking of the former champion, the champion from 2022, Cam Smith. Let's find out a little bit more about him.
Yeah, I felt really good going into the week. It was the first time I'd seen my coach in about 2.5 years. Everything just felt really comfortable. It felt like something good was going to happen. It's the home of golf. It's the home of the Open. The stuff you feel around there is unlike any other place. The golf course was set up in a way where I was able to play a very smart, kind of logical approach to it. I was so amped up and so nervous at the same time. I'd never felt anything like that. I'd been seeing the ball go in. I'd been putting so well that day. I knew if I could get it somewhere on the putting surface, it'd have a really good chance of going in. I think that will be the biggest tournament I'll ever be a part of. It's unreal and something definitely I'll never ever forget.
There we were just reminiscing about Cam Smith and his victory last year. Fantastic final round, my goodness. And Pete, I mean, he's got everything, hasn't he, this player?
Yeah, and I'd actually like to see him go on and win another one, because that Open Championship victory at St Andrews last year was actually quite strange, because the entire crowd, the entire town really, was so behind Rory for his win that when Cam Smith played an incredible round, came through for the victory, it was a little bit of a flat atmosphere. I think he almost deserved a little bit more than that. The hopes for Rory to win were so high that it kind of felt a little bit, yeah, just a little bit of a letdown at the end. It was very strange. Obviously not for Cam Smith, but he's a player who I love to watch. I just love to see him around the greens as well. Like, his short game and his putting is just absolutely beautiful to see. We
have spoken a lot about his putting, which people would pay a lot of money for, wouldn't they?
Oh, no, I would definitely remortgage my house for 6 months of his putting.
Seventh in the world rankings, Cam, and obviously moved to the Live Tour. We saw him at the US Open though, 4th place finish there, and at the US PGA Championship tied 9th. He's a major championship contender. He's always in there, a real big game player.
Yeah, and with the attitude to match as well. Like, he's so calm, he's so chilled out. It's the type of kind of vibe that you get around him of being, you know, not overawed by really any kind of occasion. You know, he can adapt and he can just move into any type of situation with that same kind of easygoing manner. I mean, if you're going to win an Open Championship at St Andrews under that kind of pressure, you've got to be able to handle it, and he can. Just does it so well.
His rounds at St Andrews, first round 67, second round was 64, third round 73.
Must try harder.
And he did on the Sunday with that blistering 64, with Cam Young just behind him with a 65 in the final round. And we remember Rory McIlroy round of 70, Fleetwood 67, Tommy was, what was he? 6 shots off the pace, but Cam, 2 rounds of 64, absolutely brilliant. As he walks past us now and heads to the first tee. Good luck, guys. Play well. And his tee time, 9:58. Xander Schauffele, Wyndham Clark, who we just saw leave the range as well. So giving himself plenty of time to get there. He's got his team with him. Cool, calm, collected. The Aussie. He's just got such a great demeanour about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, you instantly feel calmer in his presence. You just feel like literally sitting on a beach and having a few beers with him.
Yeah. There is something about the Southern Hemisphere mentality that makes you feel relaxed and makes you feel like you want to spend time with guys from Australia and New Zealand.
I'm feeling more relaxed just thinking about
it. Oh, me too. Me too. Here's his playing partner. He's not left the range yet.
He's another relaxed character as well.
Yeah.
I think the groupings were purposely done like this, just putting all the chilled people together.
Have you seen many bits of equipment out this morning?
As far as training aids go, no, not really.
No. Some sticks out there?
Yeah, there's a few little things to just get a feeling or two, but to be honest, like, these players now are just trying to get comfortable. They're just trying to get a few numbers done. Like, they've got the launch monitors on, they've got top trays, so we're just trying to see those yardages, make sure nothing's going crazily awry, and just getting ready for that round. Because, you know, at this point, if they're still searching for something in their swing, you know, the chance of going out there shooting a good round are pretty low.
Yeah, you're looking at Xander Schauffele, 6th in the world rankings, and he's coming off the back of, where was he? At the Scottish Open, tied 42nd, but still got a bit of, links experience there. But another player, my goodness, who can play in these conditions and really take on the challenge.
He's a great ball striker, and also around this course, he's a really good drawer of the golf ball. And there's so many holes out there that favour a right to left shape. Often has a kind of slightly slow start in tournaments and then has a bounce back. So if he can kind of put his foot down a little bit quicker this time.
We can't forget there that he won the Scottish Open in 2022, the week before the Open Championship, and the 150th he was tied 15th. So he's proven his worth in links conditions on Scottish soil as well. So coming here, pull on those good memories.
Yeah, and the advantage that he has, he's not won a major, but he's won big events.
Yeah.
He's been in contention and he's got across the line multiple times. Obviously, Olympic gold medal winner as well. This is a guy who can get the ball in the hole when it matters. He's a really wonderful putter as well, actually. He's another guy who over the putt just looks nice and relaxed.
Yeah. Some fantastic groups that are going to be teeing off very shortly. So Xander will be heading off soon, 9:58 with Smith and Clark. At 10:09, Shane Lowry, Ricky Fowler and Bob McIntyre.
Such a good group.
Such a brilliant
group. Such a great group.
And we know that Bob surely, Bob, will take a lot of positivity from last week. The way he played the final round of the Scottish Open, my goodness, it was just not meant to be, was it?
Yeah, I think everyone's been waiting for Rob to kind of for Bob, Mr. McIntyre, to really kick on this year and to kind of reach that next level. He was almost like a bit of a shoo-in for the Ryder Cup, in the middle of last year. It's not quite happened until recently, so if he is coming into a spot of form, that's fantastic. I managed to play in a few rounds with him, playing the Pro-Am with him last year in Germany, where he shot the most easy 62 I've ever seen in my life. The talent level is off the charts.
A look at Ricky Fowler, who tees off at 10:09, as I say, in that group. And Ricky, second place finish here, 2 behind Rory back in 2014. Sergio Garcia as well. And he's been over here for a few weeks now, doing a few touristy things. Went to Wimbledon, but a recent winner on the PGA Tour, of course. Massive turnaround in his form.
Incredible,
of late. Just how impressed are you by what he's done with his game?
It's kind of hard to describe, like how close to the brink of not being a top tier golfer he was. He dropped so far down the rankings, and the swing wasn't there, the game wasn't there, and seemingly the desire wasn't there. But he's managed to turn that around, to switch it back on, and he's back working with Butch Harmon, simplifying the swing a little bit more, and he's now in this little vein of form where he's up around the top of the leaderboard. Getting that win back was massive.
Huge.
And the way that he did it as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do get kind of wins handed to you. Sometimes you will go out and you will seize them, and that's what he did. He went out, bagged that birdie, and then got the win. And his celebration at the end as well, when he was just looking to the sky, that huge breath out, that relief, that relief of just being able to get that win again. It must have been absolutely massive.
Different stages of people's lives, players go through getting married. He's got a baby now. He went through that sort of, a bit of a lull, and is now a winner again on tour.
He's the type of player as well that whenever you see him, you forget that he's been around for a long time. He's evergreen. You just
still
see
looks about
exactly
20.
When I look at Ricky Fowler, I still see that young 20-year-old kind
He's got that feel about him, hasn't he?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sort of exudes youth, he really does. There is Zander leaving the range, heading to the first tee. Cam Smith and Wyndham Clark, his playing partners today. Some really tasty groups. Podrick Harrington is out there with Seamus Power and Taylor Gooch. Just going to have a little check of the scores and to see if Matthew Jordan is still at the top of the leaderboard. Check the scores on my app here, Pete, if I can get any Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'll have a scan through.
So Matthew Jordan is...
He's
dropped a shot.
Yeah, dropped a shot.
He must
Back
have
to
dropped a
one.
shot. Let's find out where he's dropped a shot then. If we have a quick look at his card. So 3 birdies on the front 9, out in 33 for Matthew Jordan, and a drop shot on 11.
Easily
we were talking
done.
about that pin
Easily
position,
done,
weren't we,
yeah.
on 11, on the right, just over the bunker. You said it feeds down there, so but he's dropped on there. Par at 12 on D. Lamprecht is leading at 3 under par. His birdies, well, 3 on the front 9. He birdied 3, 5 and 6, and he's on the 8th. Impressive stuff from the amateur.
So impressive, yeah. I mean, he's an impressive player, impressive ball striker. An amateur winner of the Open, just imagine.
It's all heating up. We can't wait for the tee times coming up. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. We're going to stay on the range for now.
Been watching the players warm up before their first round. The Matthew Jordan is already through 12 holes. He's now on the 13th hole, so he was first out. So the guys are really pumping through the golf course. The guys who are yet to go, just warming up on the driving range. We've been bringing you amazing pictures live at the range, really given sort of a totally new insight. Introduced some new technology, had far more chat with the players. Here's a view of our worm cam. Do those flags look like they're just picking up a little bit more? I'd say they would. Aha. Now, a man who has spent a huge amount of time on the driving range since, well, Tuesday and Wednesday, Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know how many balls he's hit, but I mean, he's hardly left the range, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. He's all of his clubs, so he was still here last night at 8 o'clock. His clubs getting the full treatment, so it's not been a happy Bryson DeChambeau. Let's have a look at his swing. So we've got here, so hands hold the club sort of very much like in a putter grip, kind of like a Mo Norman. So from his elbows through the shaft, it's almost just like a one plane. You see that? So his hands don't sit low, they sit kind of high and in line with the shaft. Hopefully listening to some relaxing music after last night's tantrum. So let's have a look. Sometimes when you're going for like the long driving stuff, that damages the rest of your game. Perhaps for Bryson, the sequence in the backswing. So once his chest has stopped turning, his arms really keep going quite a bit, and the club is more across the line. So he's not a happy camper. The Team Bryson has taken a fair bruising this week, I would suggest. There's been a fair amount of negative feedback from Bryson to his team. So just coming in to calm him down a little bit. Not feeling not feeling the love, I'd say, Bryson DeChambeau at the moment. Not in harmony with his game. I'm sure he'll probably be like 4 under after 6 holes out on the golf course. That's probably how it goes. So, going to be really interesting to see if he can turn around what's been a really negative series of practices into something positive. So, hit absolutely tons and tons of golf balls. Here are the shots that he's hit so far. Look to be up and down a little bit of a line. Maybe the ones at the end there have got a bit too much scatter pattern left and right. So certainly Bryson in conflict with his swing at the moment. Not what you want just a few minutes away from heading out to day 1. Can he find a feel? He will have Cam Young for company, a man who easily might have won last year's Open, kind of in the shadows of Rory McIlroy. Everyone was in the shadows of Rory McIlroy. Cam Smith and Cam Young could have done the business. So this is going to be an interesting swing to watch. Have a look at this. So kind of gets it really loaded to the top. Look at this. This is sort of a, you know, you have sort of continuous motion, and then if you watch Cam Young swing, so it's going to be up and loaded, like a really deliberate stop of the chest. And then the hips very dramatically lead. So this was a drill that sort of became his swing. The problem that he had was that the chest and hips sort of started down too simultaneously in the downswing. So this was a drill that he learned to load to the top, hold like a deliberate pause, and then really as a reminder to let his lower body go first. So here we go. Si Woo just lining one up. It's an unpredictable player. It can be super, super hot, but spends a lot of time in sort of super, super cold. So I am very happy to report that I've just been joined by Iona Stevens. How are you?
Simon, I'm fantastic.
I think that is probably true. I think you are fantastic. So, where have you been this morning? You had a walk around the golf course?
I have. I was out there early morning.
Yeah, I had a glimpse of a little blonde bob going down one of the fairways when I was cruising through. I did suspect that. Any observations?
I mean, the biggest observation is just the atmosphere. For a Thursday morning at the Open, it is just wonderful. Boy, oh boy, are we lucky to be working on this tournament, but sneaky part of me just wishes I was out there as a fan, because it's just like nothing else.
Yeah, I have to say I was also watching some of the morning action, and I mean, even last night there was a group of Fleetwood, McIlroy, Hatton and Hovland, and it looked as though it was the last day of the Open. The whole thing was packed, Iona.
I know. I was walking a few of the holes yesterday evening, and I decided to go on the other side of the golf course to where McIlroy was, because the crowds were so big. I thought I would just take in a little bit of peace and quiet, and walked out to the D estuary. It was just heaven on earth.
Yeah. So here we've got some of the top tracer technology highlighting the shots the guys are hitting. Cameron Young, he's obviously a bit further down his routine. Siwoo Kim, maybe just hitting a pitching wedge shot. So they will soon be heading out to the driving range.
Simon, how much are you looking at the Apex this week? Because we're at links, you know.
It's been funny. I mean, I think in the build-up, Iona, everyone has been kind of like working on a ball that's lower. So let's suppose like between 90 and 100 is kind of like the normal flight. You've seen tons of 75, 65. So Siwoo Kim, he's done the business on the driving range. He's now heading back through a shuttles bus service to the short game area, maybe some putts and then the walk across. But it's been interesting. Oh, Bryson DeChambeau. Now that driver has taken an absolute pumping. It's been thrown all over the driving range. It's had tons of airtime. It's been a very edgy Bryson. He was 8 o'clock last night, and he was still out there tossing clubs all over the place. So not a happy camper. Looks the arm swing is too long for me.
I had a wee blether with him on the range yesterday, Simon.
Is that, do you mean a talk? Did you have a talk?
It means a friendly, informal conversation.
Okay, fine. A wee blather.
A wee blether.
Okay, blether. Okay.
And he was hitting the driver. I'm just gobsmacked at the size of the grips to start with, but went and had a chat to him, and he was really not happy, I'd say, overall with club manufacturers, saying that no club manufacturer can keep up with his ball speed, and so he's had to deliberately dial it down, and I sensed enormous frustration.
Yeah, it's funny because Christo Lamprecht last night, who's our 6'8" amateur, we had him with our AirPods in and we were chatting away to him and persuaded him to have a go at one. 202 ball speed.
I was watching with a slice of pizza in my hand in the fan area at that when you were doing just that.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And he's leading the Open at 3 under par from Stuart Sink.
Unbelievable. As I was making my way here from the other side of the golf course, I saw him on the 8th fairway.
He's easy to spot.
He is. Joost Luiten alongside him, two very different statures.
Yeah, so, yeah, Bryson, you know, what you don't want to have is Bryson's a complex guy, and if he gets like a little buzz in his head about something, it's hard for him to shake that off. That's probably like a strength and a weakness. So here's his kind of like driving wood.
It's a big old club.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 2-wood, I suppose it is, Iona. Kind of like it's a pretty popular thing, can play it off the deck. I think Tommy Fleetwood might have taken one out. So Bryson just working out the tee shots. So quite long arm swing compared to his sort of traditional golfing swing, but you can see some of the big shapes that he's creating there. He's definitely got the snapper in the bag.
Yeah. I saw quite a lot going left yesterday when we were having this wee chat, but do you think that he's deliberately kind of hitting these off the turf, Simon, to try and shallow out his swing?
That's an interesting point. I mean, what I think is that the backswing sequence is definitely off. The arm swing is too long and across and now stuck behind. On the other side, Cam Young up and loaded and then really a deliberate thing. So interesting to see Bryson DeChambeau and Cameron Young just clipping a few away, different sort of parts of their routine. But Cam Young, 185 ball speed. That's probably a solid 10 miles above the PGA Tour's average. And the guy's not sort of tucking it down too much, owner. 115 apex. So tons of action down on the driving range. Di, are you down there?
Who was oh, thanks, Simon. Yeah, we're on the range and we bumped into a couple of legends, Brian O'Driscoll and Tim Henman, and good to see you guys. Really good to see you. I was just complimenting. Are we live? Oh, we are live. I just had George, had someone else in my ear. Tim, just complimenting you on your performance at Wimbledon. Fantastic couple of weeks. My goodness, are you feeling fresh?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was busy. It was pretty difficult with the weather. The first week we were quite behind on a lot of matches, but then once it got going, I think the tournament just got better and better as we went along. There were so many good matches, and then finished off with 2 incredible finals.
Oh, just a word on Alcaraz first.
He's amazing. I think he's the best 20-year-old I've ever seen. I think at this stage he's more complete than Federer, more complete than Nadal or Djokovic. I mean, he's that good. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win as much as them, but I mean, he is it's incredible. His athletic ability, his attitude, the way he played, taking down defending champion Djokovic in the final was incredible.
Oh, absolutely spectacular. And a word on the women's final with Marketa Vondrousova, and it was real on Jabeur heartbreak, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you look at Jabeur, who she beat, she beat Andriysku, Kvitova, Rybakina and Sabalenka.
Oh.
I mean, just 4 of the toughest grass court players, and then, you know, got through to another slam final. I think it's her 3rd final, 2nd at Wimbledon, and just couldn't quite, you know, produce the performance. But you know, it was still a great tournament for her.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. We love watching Wimbledon. Brian, are you a tennis fan?
Yeah, I didn't see a huge amount. I was away on a family holiday, so I did see the final, the men's final, and saw kind of stuff on social media. So, but ordinarily I would be glued to it, but just
Yeah.
the timing didn't work this time around.
No, it's a great.
You used to get invited to the Royal
Oh,
Box.
I did. Yeah.
Did you not get?
Used to.
Well, COVID.
Did you not get
COVID. There was another casualty of COVID.
I thought you moved house as well, didn't you? You moved house to a
that,
different
and then
address.
and my wife, my ex-wife, still goes, but I don't get the invite.
We'll move on from that. But for quite a few of the golfers actually went to Wimbledon. We saw Jordan Spieth in a crease suit, didn't we, Pete?
Yeah, they proper squad goals, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like, they
It was
dressed
kind
up
of
to the
linen,
nines.
It was
They
a
were
linen
looking good.
material, and Ricky Fowler was on the range the other day telling us that he looked good before he got in the car. Then he was in the car for an hour, and then when Jordan got out, he got quite a lot of abuse because his suit was completely
It
creased.
looks like the pre-drinks went well. That's the kind of
Yeah,
vibe that they
yeah,
had. But they
totally.
assured us it wasn't the case.
Yeah, completely. But they look very smart, and they loved going to Wimbledon and doing a few things in the UK. But you guys are here with HSBC, and what are you doing over the next few days?
Well, obviously we're here to watch some great golf.
Working
Yeah, working
really
hard.
hard.
Working hard. Long
Yeah.
days like you, Di.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
we're not quite
can
3 to midnight.
Yeah.
But
I'm milking that.
but we're we're just here. We're gonna do a little bit of stuff over with the guys in Sky, and
Yeah. Great.
I'm gonna try my very best, and I drive Tim. That's all I have in my game. So
Oh.
if I don't have that, I'm in serious trouble. We'll be over in the kids zone playing, doing some of the grassroots stuff with some of the next generation, and then we'll be up in the suite with some clients. So it's not as work goes. It's manageable.
It's pretty
manageable.
good, isn't
And we
it?
get to we have competitions every year. I don't have a great record against him. I'm not going to lie.
Ah.
He is playing golf about 8 days a week, so it's hard to compete with a guy that plays as regularly as him.
Annoyingly good, Tim Henman. Have you seen these guys play?
No, I'm not. Where do you
They're
tend to
both
play your
very
golf? Where are you at?
I'm at Sunningdale.
Oh,
yeah, worst places
It's
to be.
terrible
So
play, yeah.
yeah. But I'll
Amazing.
be ingraining my yipping putting stroke in the next couple of days, and Bod will be shanking a few chips. So we have a good time. Yeah, it's great. It's great to be back.
Around the green, not a scramble team to back then, you two.
No. No, it's the competition piece is good fun, but to be able to go and do all the grassroots stuff that they've done. The HSBC has done brilliant stuff over the last 10 plus years with encouraging, giving free lessons, encouraging that next generation, because there was that hiatus, there was that gap where they were concerned about the future of the game, and now it feels as though there's a renewed surge of young players, boys and girls coming through and playing again, so the future looks bright.
I spoke to Fletcher actually, who was on the range yesterday. He's 11, and through the golf scheme, he learned to play golf and has loved the opportunity. And I think it's over 5 million juniors over the last 12 years have been introduced to the game through initiatives like this in connection with the Golf Foundation, which is fab. So if you're coming to the Open, make sure you go to the swing zone, to the zones where you can play golf and be introduced to it if you're a first timer. You guys are here. Who are you here to watch?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. I'm always here to watch the Irish guys, and we've got a good history in recent times. Obviously, Rory coming back here after his victory. So local boy Tommy Fleetwood. We did a Patrons Day about 3 weeks ago with him, and he was quietly confident. He's playing some good stuff, and it's that balance between the pressure being a local boy, but also having the form coming into it. So can he marry the two? So I think he won't be far away. But and then an outside chance of maybe Porig, playing some great stuff on the seniors tour to be able to. He loves the Open. He backs himself. There's no one more confident believing that he can win this tournament, irrespective of his age. So be interesting if he was in the mix on the final day.
Oh, totally. Pete and I were chatting to Pete Cowan, who coaches him, and Pete's saying, Ryder Cup spot, Tim, for possibly Podrick Harrington.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, amazing. I mean, so fit. So you talk about someone, still whacking it out there. I mean, it's amazing. And also his sort of overall energy and enthusiasm just looks like he loves the game on the range, on tour, still competing so much. Justin Rose, another one I've always enjoyed watching. I'd like to see him, have a good run at the Open.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
The best going at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like when a player gets to the autumn of their career, like Harrington, you would assume, well, he's kicked on. Like he's gone again. So the desire.
Pete says he's hitting it longer
Yeah,
and straighter than ever before. I mean, he's really dominating on the Champions Tour.
But it's the appetite and
Yes.
and the eagerness to go. You know, so many players get to that point and they kind of peter out or they run out of energy. It feels as though it's resurged his energy, and he's got an appetite. Obviously, he's able to compete week in, week out at that level, and sure, you know, his bank manager's appreciating him for that.
I'm sure. But listen,
at the same time, coming back to these tournaments, he still feels he's in the reckoning with.
Yeah, a winner, what was it, 2007, 2008. But, you know, when it comes to an Open Championship, it's about creativity, imagination, playing on gorgeous links courses, putting as well. One of the best putters in the world, Cam Smith, defending champ. What do you think of Cam's game? And we spoke to him. It looks like it's even better form than 12 months ago.
We were watching him. He was out here, wasn't he, just warming up not so long ago. And it's, again, you know, his overall attitude, you know, he's just out there, and the way he chips and putts is just, I mean, they're all brilliant, but he's just exceptional. So, I mean, there's so many players, I'm sure, that fancy their chance. Yeah, they fancy their chances because they're all.
But the cream does rise to the top on this golf course. It really does.
I think we've been lucky enough to probably do most of the Open rotation. It's that history and tradition with these, you know, iconic courses, and you know, you come back after whatever it may be, 6, 7, 8 years, and the whole setup and the grandstands are there and the crowds are coming in. The atmosphere is just, it's incredible. So very lucky to be here.
Right, quick prediction then for the Open.
I'm gonna go with Tommy because he was in the mix with Shane in Portrush a few years ago, and he really pushed him hard. And it just feels as though his time has come to win a major.
Okay, Tommy and Tim.
I'm going to go for Justin Rose. I saw him at Wimbledon.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been playing decent this year. So.
Not because you saw him at Wimbledon.
Well, I sort of feel like, you know, got to back him now.
No, he's back in the winner's circle on the
opportunity to mention Wimbledon, so it doesn't actually. It could have been anyone that was there. They had to attend Wimbledon to be in with a chance this week.
That was it. If they attended, then their chances went up significantly.
Fine.
Yeah.
Also, his record as well of late. No, thanks, guys. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. We will hope to see you, you know, in various HSBC zones, and we're going to stay here on the range. We're here till midnight, actually, Brian. Yeah, we are. Great, so thanks, chaps. We will head back to Coventry.
Yeah, amazing. Two icons, tennis and rugby. Rugby World Cup this year. Will Ireland do the business, Iona?
Oh, will it be Scotland? Terrible draw.
Oh,
we've
will
got.
Scotland?
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness me, yeah, we've
got.
got.
That's a tough one. Oh, it's going to be amazing. George is so annoying. Supporting the All Blacks. He's just harassing everyone. So, Dan Bradbury, I think.
I can't believe how young Dan Bradbury is. Only 23.
Yeah.
He's so mature.
Yeah. And strong. Some pretty epic guys going off. In the next minute, Shane Lowry, Ricky Fowler, and Robert McIntyre will tee up their game 20. Behind them, Cam Young, Siwoo Kim, and Bryson DeChambeau. Now, Bryson DeChambeau has had a fairly miserable warm-up, so it'll be interesting to see.
The Wakefield lad,
Yeah.
Bradbury. I was playing behind him at North Berwick last week.
You're unbelievable.
In Scotland.
How many rounds of golf do you play a year? Honestly, don't cross your fingers.
Well, I'm trying to play a little bit more, Simon, as you know, because you've been giving me a few tips, and trying to really get my game back and playing, you know, with my injury. I do have a wrist injury, but I think you can always find a way to play golf, and I am absolutely loving it.
Yeah, good for you. So, I'm thinking our next game can't be too far away.
I think not.
Okay, amazing.
I'm still waiting for the invite.
No comment. So, here we go. What's he got, Dan Bradbury?
How do you think he's feeling, Simon? Major debut.
Do you know what? I think it's you have moments of calmness where you sort of can get. This is the thing you're doing. So once you're inside the ropes, I think it's actually as easy. I think the waiting is so tough. In talking to some of the young players, and they get here too early, right? And they hit too many balls. They play too many practice rounds because they just can't miss anything. But they get exhausted by Thursday. So, yeah, it's pacing yourself, isn't it? You think of like John Rahm. What's John Rahm been? It's just a few little clip shots down on the driving range, 1 or 2 practice rounds. Like, no drama.
Rory, another great example, does not take too much time on the driving range.
No.
Managing the energy.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? If you're experienced and on top of it, or if you're brand new, it's difficult. But he's going to have an amazing day. We wish you luck. So,
Oliver Farr.
Yeah.
The Welshman. Qualified through Porthcawl.
He's playing with Bradbury and Hayden Barron, so what an experience for them. Can you just get your head around that first tee shot? And it's an ugly first hole, isn't it? I mean, that is not the nice, gentle opener that you'd like.
No, and it's a very claustrophobic first tee as well. You're kind of tucked in round the back of the 18th grandstand. And it's very, very cosy in there, Simon. There's an intensity down on that tee.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think the crowd is so close to you, and it's like having suddenly so many eyeballs as you come in through the tunnel, and you're like, oh, right? And then you're looking up there, like, just throw me a bone, golf course designer, and then you look and you can't really see anything except for these little dark lips, and that means bunkers, and there's not a lot of distance. Looks like there's an inch up there between the two of them.
And there's a brand new one in the neck of the dogleg on one. I was here playing about a month ago with the Links manager, James Bledge, and we had a lovely round of golf together, and he told me all the little nuances and things that they've added to the golf course.
Yeah, a lot, right? A lot to the greens.
Lots of green grabbing, you know, trying to take back a bit of extra green where they can really tuck these pins away. And as I say, additional bunkers, that one on one. Something I learned actually playing with James Bledge, Simon, which of course you'll know, but I didn't, as I'm still learning my way through this game, is that they rake the bunkers in a completely different way during the Open Championship to what they would call a members rake.
Yeah, it's just to sort of control how the ball lands and drops and where it stays in the bunkers. So the friendly way is to rake it so that the ball rolls into the flat part, and the unfriendly way is to make it stay on all the banks. And so that's what the players are going to contend with this week. So it is interesting. Yeah, the bunkers, I really think as though you have to count that as basically like little water hazards. You're going to hit into a fairway bunker, and if you're lucky, you could maybe advance yourself closer to the hole by 30 yards. And if you're unlucky, you may have to go backwards. And if you're really unlucky, you may not get out. So, that's why the players and the caddies are looking at these books and trying to find out, like, what should I do? And if it gets windy, which wind's it going to be? And then what bunkers come into play? And then if I carry the bunkers or move around. So it's a lot of chat.
And they flattened them out as well. They're not quite so concave, and that would also encourage the ball to trickle down to the middle, but now they're a bit flatter, so they just stick at the edges and get some gnarly lies.
Yeah, gnarly lies. You could, you might have a 10-yard bunker shot who you might decide, well, you know what, I can't go for the pin, and you might also decide, well, I won't be able to get this on the green. So it's just managing. You made a mistake to go in a bunker. What you don't want to do is make two simultaneous mistakes. David Llewellyn there represented Wales many times. The coach of Ollie Farr. Wish that team well as they head one of the most nervous walks you're going to have, because in not very long from now at 10:42 you will be hitting your first tee shot in the Open. It's an amazing opportunity, but it is nerve-wracking, Iona.
Simon, I feel my stomach going just watching this walk. So wonderful, and as I heard Rob Lee reference earlier in the week, you've got to lean into that nervousness and see it almost as excitement, but boy oh boy, does it get you going. I wonder what he's had for his breakfast and if it's managed to stay down.
So, a little bit of wind moving through there. It's been an unbelievable first couple of hours at the 151st Open.
Origins premium experiences at the Open. The ultimate way to experience golf's original championship. Enjoy unparalleled on-course views as the world's best golfers take on the challenge of the links. With over 10 hours of world-class action, mouth-watering food and complimentary drinks, guests can soak up the nail-biting atmosphere like never before. And watch history in the making. Whether you're looking for the ultimate client experience or a memorable day with a group of friends, Origins offers a variety of fully inclusive premium experiences that cater to every taste and budget. Don't miss your chance to guarantee your place and the experience of a lifetime.
A chance for you guys to see what it's like the hour before the guys go off, and how the nerves and the enormity of having, for example, the first appearance, your first appearance at the Open Iona. Some of the players rise to the occasion. We've got an incredible situation. Christo Lamprecht, the 6'8" South African who won the British Amateur, is leading the Open by 1. He is 3 under par after 9 holes. What an amazing performance. So here we go, guys, just warming up as we zoom in with you. Players walking off, teams walking off, guys arriving. It's an endless flow. Last tee time's around 4 o'clock. 4:16 is the last tee time, so it is all day long. Tiger Christensen, German player. Pretty impressive ability to hit a golf ball, I have to tell you that. So he is one of 6 amateurs that we're going to have here. So, but I don't think that is Christo. I know, I don't think that's Tiger. I don't think so.
I'm going to say definitely not.
Yeah.
Tiger has left the range. We've just heard. That's
Yeah,
Liam James.
Tiger's a slimmer. Yeah.
Coach to many of the players out there.
Richard Bland there, just going through his numbers. Blandy had the amazing victory in the British Masters. Just goes to show, keep fighting. Lots of trips to the tour school, lots of trips to the Challenge Tour, and then the perseverance, and then the magic moment.
It was a magic moment, very special, emotional moment. But he's had a checkered record with the Open. This is Sami Välimäki with coach Liam James just behind, just dialing things in. Simon.
Yeah, I was speaking to Lim yesterday, just sort of getting through it. I think that the players feel this week that they've kind of, at least so far, dodged the weather. There were reports that perhaps we're going to have a very, very hot period here, kind of like a St Andrews. Remember that last year was like really kind of runways, not fairways. That hasn't happened. We've just, Tuesday in particular, quite a bit of rain. So probably, I would say, with this weather, just enough to kind of keep you interested, but not where you're really fearful of heading out into Battle Iona at the moment.
Yeah, when I was walking out there this morning, I could feel already, though, with this wind and sunshine, it was drying out.
Yeah, I think the hour before you go, you have a routine, maybe hour and a half, and you have to manage nerves. Nerves are going to be there. You can't forget this. So here's Marcel, give you an idea. So Marcel Sim earlier this morning. Yeah. Just to feel how you're going to manage it. You know, your hands go sweaty, your hands are shaking. You feel sick to your stomach. It's excitement. Iona.
Yeah, I'm a huge Marcel Sim fan. absolutely love his
Yeah.
attitude. Everything he's been through, so much adversity in his life, and you know, he's a real family
his poor
man.
wife, yeah.
His poor wife.
Wishing her well.
He's had his daughter on the bag as well when
Yeah.
he won on the Challenge Tour. He's had
yeah.
amazing moments through his career.
I think that's right. Ups and down, waves. He's been very resilient. So we've got this amazing worm cam. Really give a view. You don't get to see players hit balls over your head, but it's very interesting. So Richard Bland is there. Lee Hodge.
Also his debut.
Yep. So going to be very interesting.
He'll be playing alongside Antoine Rosner and Richard Bland today.
Yeah, how do you handle the situation? It's very difficult. It's very difficult to play golf, as we all know, when you're just nice and relaxed. But what happens if you can't even control your own body? So we've got a beautiful view here. Got our cameras halfway down the driving range. Name them worm cams, just to give a different view. And now we're able to rotate them, show you some different views. Lee Hodges, see how open his body is. Looks like a pretty nice swing, doesn't it? So just going through a few full shots, trying to calm your nerves. Turned pro in 2008. From the US, finished 12th in the Memorial Tournament at Jack's Place, place where Victor Hovland beat Denny McCarthy for really, I would say, like Victor Hovland's first big time victory. It's a big difference from Alabama to the Wirral, Iona.
It certainly is, Simon. He's looking very focused, and it is a very good looking golf swing. Great rhythm, nice and compact.
It is, isn't it? Like good lines, good geometry, good motion. You can see, I would say he's probably maybe just hitting maybe an 8-iron there.
It's one of my favourite things about the Open is kind of mix of players that come together. We get the opportunity to learn more about, you know, a combination of amateurs, rising stars, players lesser known. I know you cover a lot more than the PGA Tour than I do over on the DP World Tour, but it's so exciting seeing all these guys coming together.
Yeah, it is. It's like, that's what we want to have as viewers. We want to see the best players in the world play against each other at the best tournaments on the most amazing golf courses, because that's what we love. So if you're talking about amazing amateurs, Christo Lamprecht has just gone to 4 under par, is leading by 2 right now in the 151st Open. How is his day going?
This is ridiculous scenes from Christo. What a guy. It must have been your pep talk on the range, Simon.
Yeah, well, it was funny because I actually felt bad, because he goes, I'm like goading him to say, like, okay, listen, what does the maximum in the tank look like? And he goes, you know what, I promised myself I wouldn't do that. So I was like, oh no. But he says, you goaded me, I'm gonna have a go. And he got to 202 ball speed.
Ludicrous.
Amazing.
But it's a really unusual technique. I remember when I was following the Amateur Championship online, and I thought, who's this tall guy with this quirky looking golf swing? His lower body, the way he gets
drives
that going.
forward. Yeah, I think
wild.
it's like managing. You must be just managing. Like, you look at Lee Hodges and you go, how tall is he? 6 foot, maybe, super compact. There's no extra pieces of movement. But then you go 6'8", and it's like a spider coming down from a tree. It's like, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway, arms like an orangutan, just like, woo! Okay. So, anyway, it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to leave the range for a few moments and find our pal George.
Hey guys, we were just having a nice relaxing seat in the sun, but it's not overly relaxing for my man here, Cam Davis. You are the first reserve here at the Open Championship. Now this is something that people at home don't often get to know much about or hear much about. Can you tell us about your day and what it's like being first reserve? Because it can be quite tough, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, the anxiety's kind of been there all week. I mean, when you start the week at first reserve, you think, oh, it's a pretty good chance, and by the time you get to Thursday morning and still no word, it's tough. It's not a position I've been in much lately, so it's nice to not have to deal with this very often. But for a tournament like this, you'll sit here and wait all day and see if your opportunity comes. But yeah, I'm just waiting around.
And literally you have to wait around, because if someone pulls out at the very last minute, you have next to no time to get to the first tee, don't you? Can you explain your restrictions and how, let's say for example, someone did pull out, how it all would work?
Well, it sounds like the majority of the time it would happen during a warm-up, and you'd have maybe 20-30 minutes to kind of get your things together, maybe take a couple of swings and head on out. This week the range is so far away that there'd be no chance to get to the driving range unless someone pulled out a long way ahead of their tee time. For the most part, it's stay around the clubhouse, make sure you're in touch with the rules officials, and you know, at the least amount of time you'll have is 5 minutes. If someone pulls out on the first tee right at the tee time, you have 5 minutes to get over there and try and catch up to your group. But aside from that, yeah, it's just, you know, just always got to be ready. So yeah, I'm going to be less prepared than normal if I do have to go to the first tee, but once they get there, I'll be so happy. I don't really care where that first tee shot goes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they've got one of the best teams in the world in there, looking after all the players, always on the pulse with the emails. So you're almost waiting for that fantastic phone call for your phone to erupt and vibrate, aren't you?
I've been waiting for a phone call all week and it hasn't come. So I'd like to know what that's like. But if it doesn't happen, then I mean, I'm not going to wish ill on anyone here. So if I'm needed, then awesome. If I'm not, then I'll hang on.
Because we were talking about it off camera. We were saying that last year at the Open at St Andrews, which is the one no one you'd think would ever pull out, but there was about 7 people that withdrew quite late. So it's quite amazing to see how the tables have turned a little bit.
Yeah, I would think that last year was the one that people would play regardless of how they were feeling, and yeah, this year it's been at least a month and everyone's been good to go and no sign of anyone pulling out. So yeah, I was told my chances were very good for quite a long time now, yeah. And to still not have a tee time is kind of tough. I missed out by one spot in that world rankings checkpoint about a month ago. So I've been just sitting on the outside looking in the whole time. So it's a tournament I've always wanted to play and grew up watching. So yeah, I would love to have a hit this week if I can.
Yeah, it was very close. And you've been here what, since 5:36 a.m. just waiting away?
Yeah, it was an early alarm.
Yeah. Oh well, mate, it's look, it's interesting to see what happens behind the scenes. So thanks for your time. I know it's not easy, but I guess all the best for the rest of the afternoon, and hopefully we might see you out there.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to stay patient and calm and just see how everything goes. But it's nice to be here. The sun's out. It's not too bad a place to hang out.
That's right. And if you ever get bored, you can just join the media team. You know, maybe come do some interviews with me and the team. So we'll look after you.
Thanks, mate. There's some table tennis upstairs. Actually, we've been given that a pretty hard go. So we're keeping entertained, but we'd much rather be out there. So
okay. Oh, table tennis it is.
George is rubbish at table tennis. I've seen his action. Yeah.
No comment.
But poor old Cam there, the first reserve, that's just a nightmare, isn't it? I mean, obviously you don't wish someone to have a late medical problem, but what a situation he finds himself in there. You feel sorry for him there.
I know, I've gone from feeling ecstatic nerves for Oliver Farr to feeling utter deflation. I feel like I'm
God,
the
it's
first
like this has been like an emotional roller coaster for my associate. Take it easy, buddy. Don't go too early. Don't go early. The Open's a marathon, not a sprint. Here we go. So someone stretching out there, just.
That's got to be Southgate.
Getting it, yeah.
How's things? Have you been back home?
Matthew Southgate.
I did think it was Jimenez for a second. He's partial
He's
to a
like
he's
like an open qualifying specialist, Matthew Southgate. Like some guys just like the Monday qualifiers, the whole thing. They're amazing at doing that. So.
And you know, the Open is made for Matthew Southgate.
Yeah.
He's a real raw talent, self-taught. He looks like a natural golfer, kind of Lowry-esque, you know, real links player. He's got finesse, and that performance at the Irish Open he had many years ago, very emotional. Do you remember that, Simon?
I do indeed, oh my lord, yeah. He's had some unfortunate medical situations, and thank goodness he is on the other side of that. And now, can the talent shine? It was interesting what he said. He said, I've been here before and I was so like nervous. I didn't really let myself perform. And so now I've learned, like when I have a chance now, I'm going to really show up, and I've only got one thing to do, and I'm going to try and win the Open.
Yeah, I just think, you know, he's got the heart of an Open player. He's got the passion, the fire in the belly, and he's got the touch in the hands.
Yeah. Let's see how the ball bounces for Matthew Southgate, but wish him well. Great view of face on here, kind of tall and lean, but just look how he's sort of like, if you imagine kind of like a little tube just on the outside of his right hip and outside of his left hip, just kind of swinging like in a very tight tube. So watch his head there.
Nah, so you only make money if you can play the weekend.
Really just a tight tube. So you do have a bit of lateral motion, but the idea is really kind of like, if you can picture that you're not swinging sort of in a shoebox, so you're not swinging from your right foot all the way across to your left foot. You're swinging much more kind of like in a matchbox. It's a much tighter turn, so the center really does stay more under you. The taller you are, the more important that is. Let's have a look. Balanced feet. All of the weight in that left heel at the finish. Just clipping a few wedges. That's just kind of getting your body ready for the task. Trying to keep yourself loose, Iona, and try to really kind of like take the tension out. Just mostly around the rhythm of the movement.
Yeah, the rhythm is so important, especially in links golf, where the wind can come across and interfere and interrupt things. And you have to try and really stick to your rhythm. And of course, on the opening day of the Open, things can get a bit quick, but looking very relaxed. A wee wave to the crowd, maybe a family member.
Hi, Mum. I'm here. So, good angles.
It's kind of Monty-esque from the front there. High hands.
Yeah, kind of that little lag as you come down there.
Nice and low-pay. Watch this.
Yeah, so almost like an old-fashioned swing, a little bit more handsy, a little bit more sort of like a Spanish player's hands. You can see what he's trying to do there, just work it at that line, just you can see the accuracy of his shots. So here we go, worm cam, a personal favorite of mine, as we have a look at all the different angles. See at the finish there, so hips really kind of turn to the target, belt buckle even sort of aimed slightly left of the place he was going, and that's just with a wedge. So it's all about trying to keep your hands and your hips in the right sequence. You never really want your hands to beat your hips. That's going to close the club face down too much. So hips beat hands is a really good swing thought.
That looks like Yannick Paul over there on the right-hand side of the screen.
Just clipping wedges, just working on the tempo pace. It looks like they're sort of so slow, like almost like they're swinging on the moon, you know? No rush of the hands, no flash speed.
And that thud that you hear off that beautiful links turf, it's a different sound, isn't it?
Links turf is the turf, isn't it? It's like it's magical. Yeah, it's just got another composure, and the way it reacts with the club face. It's like that's how golf was designed to be played. Amazing. So, just watching these guys getting ready. Matthew Southgate not too far away from his 11:36 tee time, 59 minutes. And everything, all the minutes count. How many times does the player turn around? What's the time now?
I know.
It's 2 minutes later than it was the last time you asked me, boss.
Interestingly, last week in Scotland, I had a chat on the range. I'm having a mind blank. American winner of Wentworth a couple of years ago, Billy Horschel.
Yeah, Billy Horschel.
And he had all these beautiful little piles of golf balls on the range. I said, "What are you up to there, Billy?" And he said, "I know exactly how many balls I hit in my warm-up, so I know I'm never going to be late. It's the same number of balls." So he doesn't have to do that thing, that panic that creeps in. What's the time? What's the time?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty smart.
Oh, yeah. The sort of everything's done on time, isn't it? It's just a nightmare.
So here's Yannick Paul
Don't
using
be late for this. Don't be late for that.
a very popular training aid, Simon. See this quite a lot. I've seen Matt Fitzpatrick using this drill before with the ball in between the forearms.
There we go. So yeah, so it's just a tour striker ball, and what it does is really just kind of like an arms, like a hands, arms, and chest sequencer. So what you don't want to have is those elbows sort of separate, and Rory McIlroy was using that. When the elbows fold, you don't want them to sort of get too wide from each other. So when that right arm gets stuck in behind you in the top of the backswing, when you change direction, it trails your hips so much. So when you know, Tiger Woods always used to be like, "Oh man, I got stuck," and that's from when those arms run long and deep and behind you, which feels amazing in the backswing. But when you go to hit the ball, your hands aren't in a place where they should have been. They're like 3 feet too late, and then it's like, "Oh, I'm going to lose it right," and you've got to flip it over. So yeah, that's what you're trying to do, so not have that feel. So you can see really exaggerating the finish of elbows together. The launch monitor is out, just double, triple checking. 100 yards. How far's that? 90?
So here he goes, getting the iPad out. This is going to help him know exactly how far he's hitting these warm-up shots. And it's something we see all the players doing now. No shot is wasted. There's feedback from every single one.
Yeah, and you're using the machines to help you. So like, this is my feel for 100 yards. So I know how much club head speed I need for 100 yards with this particular. So you could have like 70 miles an hour with a 56, probably gives you more or less like a 70 miles an hour of ball speed, which might give you whatever it is, 85, 80 yards of carry. So there's a kind of a coefficient that runs there, and so what you're trying to do is make sure that today you've got the right feel for the speed. So I need to know it's 100 yards. This is my 100-yard swing feels like this. Double check. Okay, yes, that's it. So really interesting. So he's had one fantastic victory. That was in Mallorca.
He's had an amazing season, Simon, and right now is gunning for a spot in the Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, 100%. So he went to university in the States.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, and then ASU. And then won the Arizona Open State Championship. So that was a big victory for him. Yeah, interesting way. So one of the guys, see there's that finish there, the hands really out in front, so really keeping the radius and the width. So Mike Walker behind there. Mike's got another client. Matt Fitzpatrick has been and gone and out on the golf course, and I would say, Iona, Matt Fitzpatrick is not happy with his game currently.
No, he's had a little bit of a dip in form, and that can happen, as you know, Simon. It's all about the ebbs and flows. He's got Billy Foster on the bag, Matt Fitzpatrick, so he's in good hands out there, and anything can happen. It can, any day your game can come back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're anticipating that Bryson DeChambeau will be something like 4 under par after 6 holes, having thrown his clubs all over the driving range yesterday. So elbows together and release. Look at that finish position there, really out in front, almost like as though the address position with his arms, if he just turned through to the finish, is the same finish position, so there's no kind of loss of sequence there. The little ballie is gone. very systematic ball position, stick, alignment stick, swing aid, elbows together, hold the finish, boom.
Yannick Paul has a twin brother, Simon, that's also a professional golfer.
Tim or something? Tim? Timothy? Something like that.
And
Can't remember.
they played together.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. They've been teammates a couple of times.
Yeah.
And in fact, they beat the Højgaard twins at the 2016 BMW International Open.
Amazing. So here we go. Here's the bally back in. So it just kind of sits kind of halfway up your forearms. And the idea is you're just going to keep kind of an even pressure on that. So let's have him have a look at that. There it is. So just a 3/4 shot. Just about an hour to go before he goes. Having a quick look to see. So his numbers are the same numbers that we're looking at. Just 83 yards of carry. So this is a really kind of cruisy, probably like a, I would say probably that ball speed and club speed kind of match up at kind of 70 club speed, 70 ball speed. Kind of like a 1.0 on his smash factor, and just cruising through the feel. Stretching it out. It's interesting though, it's like amateurs always think, are the tour players thinking anything technically? They're always thinking something technically. How many times does a tour player out there totally blank?
It's such a fine line, isn't it, Simon? Because ultimately it is a feel game, and you don't want to lose that relationship with the feel. You don't want to get caught up in the technical aspects of things. But if you let go of the technical aspects completely, golf's just one of those games that so soon things can go awry, and you've really got to keep, things dialed in. Whether it's, so often we see these guys working on the basics, don't we? Whether it's the alignment, whether it's the ball position, posture, very, very quickly things can go just a little inch off here or a millimetre off there.
Do you not think, though, that the way to approach it is that it's going to go awry? It's a game that goes awry, right? And so you just have to be incredibly flexible to handle the awryness that comes, and it never seems to all fall out. But as a good player, you don't often come up with a completely new problem. That's not going to happen. But I think it is the nature of the game. So look at the little bally there. He's just trying to keep that pressure, so it's his body that takes the club to the top. So not you don't want your hands to take the club to the top. Your shoulders, your ribs, turn the hands to the top. There, and your hips take it through. Man, we should be able to do that.
I know, it looks so simple.
That looks simple, doesn't it?
Looks great.
It does look great. So it's not in a hurry. It's like the speed has to be in the right place. The speed is late in the action, isn't it? The speed's not in transition. You can really see this here. So elbows together. Okay, ribs turn to the top and stretch. And hold, and then hips take it through. And there's the same relationship. Just adding a little bit more speed to it. It's amazing, fascinating to watch the warm-up. Everyone's got their different styles, right?
You can learn so much from watching these best players in the world warming up, and just how deliberate they are with every motion. They're not wasting energy out there, Simon.
So here we go. There's their ball in between. So look at the chest. Look at the chest coiling. So it's not shoulders, it's really ribs and hips. Kind of like 90 degrees of rib turn, 30 degrees of hip turn, full shoulders. And now watch the transition. His belt buckle's going to come swinging back towards us. There it's rotating, both hips together, pushing forward, releasing. Hips way more open than ribs. Then they start to catch up. Great hit there in the angles. Arms are in front. And now watch that right arm work across his body. So, gonna have another view from Worm Cam. Watch how the club works across. There it is, Worm Cam, that little coming out the ground. There it is, close-up view. All the technology we've got to kind of bring you more views of golf shots, give you better picture for your own swings. So, just been an amazing morning.
Follow the 151st Open in unrivaled detail on the Open.com and the Open app. Go behind the scenes with Live at the Range from Monday to Sunday of Open Week.
Yeah, that was flush.
Track every shot hit at the championship and get real-time statistics with ShotView. Get minute-by-minute coverage on the go with Open Radio.
Jumping up and down. It's an unbelievable bunker shot.
Follow feature groups throughout each day of the championship and soak up all the action on the incredible 17th hole with the Par 3 channel. All streamed live on the Open.com and the Open app. Get closer to the Open wherever you are.
Yeah, thanks for joining us live at the range. We've been watching the guys warming up. We've got Yannick Paul here from Germany, going through a fairly technical period, using a ball striker just to help him with his sequencing as he goes through the club just in his hands there. So just a little drill that he's working on, just helps remind him of the feel. Elbows together. Takes a little while to get in there. So just gives him a feel of just coordinating the movement between his ribs really and his hands. You can see him really working that feel. So there, look at those wrist positions holding. So let's have a look as he winds it to the top of his backswing. So loads it and releases it, and that really kind of like, I mean, it's like a Tommy Fleetwood finish, isn't it? Just arms working across his body turn, squaring up the face, and then really quite a deliberate pause at the finish there. So I mean, that's a really good thought to have. You know, don't worry too much about the ball. That's just kind of like you don't want that to be the event. So don't stop your body at the ball. Really think, just sort of move through the ball to the finish. So that's a good swing thought to have. Like, let me get to the finish. So there's no pause at the ball there, is there? Just a continuous motion, and you really balance and pose that finish. Boom, and pose that finish. So just refreshing himself. Very deliberate process, Iona, very organized, everything kind of like structured. So, next to him, Laurie Cantor. And Yannick Paul. Laurie, a talented player, for sure. Had an amazing chance, really, at the BMW one year to pick up a massive title. So, similar finish to Yannick Paul, the big wide arm swing. So let's see here. I think Mike Walker is going to be not too far away from this. There, arms down. That's like a Justin Rose. So just working the sequence. A lot of the tall guys have a tough time, Iona, with the sequence there in the background next to Gary Tilston. Got Guy Tilston and Gary Tilston. Guy is out with Richard Bland. Gary is out with Laurie Cantor. So let's have a look at this action. Looks clean, like a Sam Burns version. A British Sam Burns swing. Can you see that?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Laurie Cantor's swing. I love the way he kind of commands the ball at address. He's also a tall guy. He's over 6 foot tall, and I just think, you know, some players when they step over the ball, you just think, yeah, that looks good.
The angles look good. Yeah, if you ever see, I mean, Seve stood over a golf ball and you just felt as though it was absolutely crystal clear who was in charge. So what you don't want to have is, you do not want the ball to be in charge. So when you look down at your golf ball, you've got to make sure you are the boss.
Yeah, and it's easy to get sloppy in the posture and address. And
I think it's so hard. I mean, you think of the challenge of ball position, aim, and posture. Like, you never have that. You have to work on it every single day. So never assume, like, you know what, I've got that. It moves. It moves, and it moves around. And then what you don't want to be doing is changing something in your swing for a mistake you've made in your posture, your aim, or your ball position. So, you know, you can see the players using an aiming stick and a ball position stick, and then they've got two pairs of eyes looking to give you the feedback because you can't see it, right? And the top players all seem to have sort of like their own coaching teams now. So back in the day, you used to coach sort of, I might have coached 15 guys on an open Thursday. It's amazing. It all moves around.
Yeah, they've got their own little mini universes now, these players. You say their teams, and they've got their own channels and social media experts, and you know, you can subscribe to almost the full package with every player out there now on the range.
Yeah, all little industries.
He's a popular guy, Laurie Cantor.
There, so hit that top slot.
And also a qualifier, qualified his way into to be here this week. He had a commanding 4-stroke victory of the 36-hole final qualifying event at Royal Porthcawl.
Yeah, he did not like that last one. That was stuck in behind him. He tried to hold that off. I think that flip left on him. So
he might be asking Yannick Paul if he can borrow that ball.
Yeah, he might need the ballie. So here we go. Laurie Cantor, great angles. Look at the way he gets down to the ball. So the back is nice and neutral. It's just a little bit of knee flex, soft knees, not squatting knees, nice high hips.
Links golf, you often see players with this sawn-off follow-through. Simon, why is that?
Yeah, just going to probably change your launch angle away from like the normal. So just trying to drop it down, have even more club face control, and also probably lose a bit of spin, lose a bit of club head speed from the maximum. You know, that's not as fast as he can go there. And the reason for that is he doesn't want to rev the ball, doesn't want to spin the ball up in the air. So shallow and launched lower with less spin to keep it kind of linear. This is going to be a game this week played on the ground. This is not played in the air. This is not the Masters. Masters 172 is 172 every single day at the Masters. So, and then the Masters is all a case of, can you be good enough off the tee to leave yourself the right line so you can putt from underneath the hole?
The putting.
Yes.
Such an important part of the week.
Oh man, this is going to be huge. I think I was amazed how when I first came here, I thought, oh, the driver's not going to be the crucial club. Now I actually think, if you're going to get to the winning score, you can't do what Tiger Woods did. You can't leave yourself. You can't play short of every single bunker. You'll have to take on some, and then you'll have to be threading it through 10-yard gaps. And if you can do that, you're going to have shorter irons, and you'll make enough birdies to win. Cantor.
How much time do you think, Simon, in a week like this, they spend on the putting green in their warm-up relative to the range?
I would say they probably putted already, they come here and then they have another putt to finish. I think the putting on a links course, these are very flat greens, apart from 17, but these are very flat. But they're slower than any of these guys are used to because of the problems that we can have with the wind. So it's the pace. You know, Tiger Woods used to absolutely battle it. He used to spend hours trying to figure out how to get the pace. So it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, arms down. Don't spin your chest out. So we will soon be leaving Laurie Cantor.
Really gripping down the club in his practice swing and then coming back to a more normal place on the grip for the full swing.
Yeah, just maybe working a bit on posture. Distance from the ball is so important. You don't want heel strikes or toe strikes, so I have to manipulate it. So we're going to leave these guys as they go through their final shots before the first round. We're going to go down onto the driving range, and we have got Di Stewart down there.
Oh, thank you very much, Simon. We've been studying those pin positions again, haven't we, Pete?
Yeah, been nerding out down
Oh,
here.
they're juicy. They really are, and some tee times as well. And just admiring also, these are the pin positions. If you are just joining us for the first time, have a quick look at that page, and the really tasty one on 17, which is just here.
Yeah,
Don't go for the flag.
As soon as we are done for lunch, I'm heading straight out there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Straight out there. A fantastic grandstand actually on the right-hand side of the 17th. Brilliant place if you are coming to Royal Hoylake over the next few days to head to one of many grandstands which are beautifully placed. The course looks very different, having spoken to a lot of the members. It always does when an Open comes to a golf course. The infrastructure changes so massively. Alex Fitzpatrick is, I'm saying it very loud, is just behind us. I did say it loudly because his whole team turned around. He's warming up on the range. Just a fantastic story. Him and his brother both playing in the Open Championship.
The wind's picking up as well. If anybody
I'm just going to get
confused.
those. I am going to get all those papers in just a second. Put that there. George is by arrivals again. George, what's happening down there?
Hello, guys. I've just made my way to the players' entry once again, and it's almost about time to wrap up the morning. So, waiting for a few extra golfers, but it's been a great start to day one. The sun is shining. Di, I hear you're overheating there on the range.
Overheating, yes. Well, a layer has come off, George. It does take me the temperature to be sort of 16, 17 degrees before a layer comes off. I've got just the 4 on right now. But there's a bit of a breeze, George. There's a bit of a cold gust, isn't there?
Yeah, it's perfect. That's exactly what we want here for the Open. A little bit of breeze. Slowly picks up throughout the day. So for the spectators, they're going to get a great day's viewing out there, no doubt about it. But yeah, I think that all the feature groups are well and truly out there, so it's going to be an exciting little time. How's the range going? Is it a bit of energy over there, or is there sort of quiet and
Yeah,
down?
it's there's a good feel down here. Do you know, it feels pretty relaxed. I'm trying to desperately find Alex Fitzpatrick's tee time, but I'll still scramble for it. There we go, 11:36 he's out with Rasmus Højgaard and also Matthew Southgate, who qualified a couple of weeks ago. Nice. Brilliant story as well. You've spoken to Matthew a lot, George, haven't you? And it's great to see him playing another Open. He's come close in the past.
Yeah, nice to see Matthew in the mix. Good lad. We've had some good time with him in Denmark last year on the DP World Tour, and just saw him earlier today as well. He was actually quite interested in what was happening in the Ashes, which is only just around the corner.
Oh,
so,
come on, England. Come on, England. We want to make it 2-all. OK, thanks, George. Let's have a look at tee times and show you what's happening this afternoon. And some really tasty groups, actually, George, including Rory McIlroy. But this first group we will show you includes Victor Hovland, Tony Finau and Justin Thomas, major winner. My goodness.
Yeah, 6 months ago you'd have said, wow, you know, one of the winners might come from this group, but all three of them, I think, maybe have a bit of a point to prove.
Next group, that's at 2:48, 2:59, obviously 11 minutes apart. Rory McIlroy, who won here in 2014, is out with Masters champ John Rahm and Justin Rose, recent winner on the PGA Tour.
Justin Rose seems to be the second name on a lot of people's lips this week about a little bit of an outside run. He has been playing great. I mean, as far as a grouping goes, that is definitely one to follow.
And then at 3:10, Colin Morikawa, champion a couple of years ago with Max Homer and Tyrrell Hatton. Colin and Tyrrell are close mates. Did you know that?
I mean, they're two quite contrasting personalities as well, aren't they? Wow, yeah, opposites attract. Max Homer stuck in the middle of them two today. That might be interesting.
Totally. Consistency in that group, isn't there? My goodness. You could pick literally any name. Pete, thanks for your company. We're going to be back in an hour and a half and bring you all the afternoon tee times, all the action from live at the range. We'll see you then.